Hello, Style Esports fans, and welcome to the first semifinal here in the Style Esports Season 2 playoffs. Today we have a best of three between Coinflippers, the number 2 seed, and Boyz into Hood, the number 1 seed here in the Demacian group. Bringing you the action, I am Jarl Carl, joined by Axeman87 as per usual. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing just fine, Carl, and we're a little later than our normal time slot, but it's not affecting us too much. We're out here and we're doing just fine. It's quarterfinals, Demacia Division, Style Esports League, and tonight it's the Coinflippers and Boyz in the Hood. Boyz in the Hood had a pretty good game. I believe it was last night. I might be wrong about that
Indeed.
one, though. And I don't think we've seen the Coinflippers in quite a while, but my understanding is if you make it to the quarterfinals, you're probably pretty good. So this could be a close game for sure. Moving into Champ Select already. The teams waste no time. And got a bunch of carries banned away. A couple supports too. Taking away the Vigar and the Jhin. A couple burst potential carries there. Taken away from by Boyz in the Hood.
Absolutely, and the late hour might be getting to us a little bit. This is the semifinals, X-Man, so we're past that quarterfinals stage. Winner of this will qualify for the finals, playing for a share of the $200 United States prize pool. As a lot on the line here. We see the Maokai picked up. It's tree time. We like that tank meta. We talked about it yesterday. Acquiescence following through.
Yeah, for sure. It is absolutely tree time tank meta. And Nautilus for Charismatic picked up. Now, I believe these are pro drafted, so this should be Nautilus top, right?
I believe this is live, my guy.
No
pro draft anywhere.
Pro drafted. Okay, all right.
No.
Well, I'm glad because otherwise it would have been Thresh Jungle, and I would have quit on the spot, Carl. This would be my last one, but yeah, it is going to be Nautilus probably in the support role, but Lee Sin picked up for Zero Armed. We'll have to see if they can handle the pick. It's a hard champion, Carl. You think you can handle it?
I'm going to go, yes. I think so. Right, it's the semifinals. You don't pull out stuff you're not ready to play with, and it's definitely, kind of seen as more of a solo queue champion, I think, usually, but it has pretty much always been in the competitive meta. The Insec, ever since that's been invented by Insec himself, of course, has been a mainstay in competitive play. So hopefully we can see some of those kicks coming through. The Shyvana picked up also. I would assume that's top. Probably that AP Shyvana top up against Maokai. I have a friend that complains about that a lot, but not entirely sure how strong it is in reality. So we'll see how that works out here for Coinflippers, but definitely an interesting draft by them so far.
Yeah, definitely. That Shyvana is already kind of putting me more in the Boyz in the Hood camp. I'm not sure about that one. The Sejuani pick coming through for Boyz in the Hood, putting me firmly in the Boyz in the Hood camp.
That's a tanky team.
Yeah, it's a very tanky team. And Sejuani is a fantastic jungler. And to be honest, just inherently easier to execute than Lee Sin is. So gives it an edge in my mind already. But probably a champion with less potential than Lee Sin, so we'll have to see how that works out for them. But it is going to be Rumble bans coming through. There's not going to be any Rumble. Now, I agree with the ban there. That would have been a crazy mid laner. I'm pretty sure Boyz in the Hood's team fight would be unstoppable if they picked up Rumble at this point, so it's a good takeaway from there. But Luca looks like hasn't picked an ADC yet, so they might do well to ban Lucian here. We've seen Luca on Lucian quite frequently, especially last night, to great effect. So might be a solid ban, but we'll see what they come up with.
Running the clock down. There is that Lucian ban. Popped off on it yesterday. Ban. Yeah, must be said, yesterday doing very well for himself. Gonna have to find a bit of a new selection in this game, but I do feel sure him and Astral will hold their own in the bot lane, hovering that misfortune. We should note also, I Miss the Old You over on the side of Coinflippers is a bit of a substitute for this game. The standard AD carry was not available this evening, so we do have a bit of a substitute in the bot lane for Coinflippers. We'll see if that affects the synergy too much, as that MF pick has become Caitlyn, my main champion in solo queue. I'm a big fan of this. I think it fits really well into this team. I'm excited to see what he can do with it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a champion that in a lot of ways is just like a better Ashe. There's just so much utility in this champion, but just like with better damage numbers, gonna have a harder time maybe shredding tanks and epic monsters, but I mean, it's not really one of those things ADCs are expected to do anymore. I mean, it's okay to pick something like Varus if you need to shred somebody down, but I mean, if you look at the team the Coinflippers have drafted, they're not super tanky, so I don't think they're going to be missing that tank shred there. So Caitlyn pick is a good pickup for sure. And yeah, I have no idea what's happening with the Coinflippers. I think you're probably right. Shyvana top, Cassio mid, Vayne ADC, and Nautilus support. But it's a strange team. There's a lot going on there.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a unique draft. I would like to see this Malzahar come through. I think. Just give it a couple of seconds. We'll have our solution. It's become a Fizz. Okay, forget everything I was going to say about the Malzahar. This is still a very strong team fighting team, I think, that's been drafted by Boyz in the Hood. You know, you have two massive frontliners, the Assassin Fizz trying to land that Chum the Waters, and Caitlyn is just, you know, an all-around really strong AD carry. I think the team fight for Boyz in the Hood, especially in the mid game, is just crazy, crazy strong. There's no way to stop the tanks. There's no trundle. The Vayne will get through him eventually, but she needs 2 or 3 items to really have that tank shredded potential, and there's just so many ways for her to get one shot. You know, Maokai does half her health if he gets on her. Sejuani landing that Glacial Prison can be an issue. If the Chum the Waters ever hits her, she's pretty much just toast. Caitlyn, a couple of auto attacks should take her down. So definitely a difficult task for the Vayne in this game, shredding the tanks. We'll see if he's up to the task. The substitute again coming through. So see how that works out for him. I don't like the lane very much. Vayne versus Caitlyn is just really, really hard to play. The Caitlyn has so much more range. You just kind of auto attack down the Lantern to keep Lucas safe too. And we saw him pop off yesterday. A little bit of recency bias, but definitely a strong competitor down in the bot lane. So could be one to watch, but I think we could see fighting kind of all across the map. There aren't a whole lot of just wet noodle fights.
Yeah, definitely. And if I'm going to give Coinflippers anything, it's that early game jungler and Lee Sin. If Lee Sin can get some of these lanes ahead in the very early game, talking like level 2 power spike, maybe a level 3 gank, something like that, that could definitely blow this game wide open, especially if we're talking about mid or bot lanes. That's going to be something that can really, really help them out. In terms of kind of just like the tank meta here, we kind of saw Boyz in the Hood initially pick tanks, right? And they quickly had to adapt as the Coinflippers said, okay, cool, we'll just pick all tank shred champions in Cassiopeia and Vayne. They're just going to be doing, you know, just tons of on-hit percent health, damage, you name it. They're just going to be shredding them down. They adapted fairly well. I like the Fizz pick. It's a solid assassin. That's going to be diving super hard on the Coinflippers carries. If this Fizz gets even a little bit of a head, it's one of those champions when you give it an inch, it takes a mile. You know, even the combo without ultimate ability, without Chum the Waters, is going to kill most carries, and with Chum the Waters, it'll kill some bruisers. So, you know, even Lee Sin might not make it through a full Fizz combo. But yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces here, and I'm ready to watch the execution. You know, I mean, these are super mobile champions for one thing, and then a lot of them have a lot of utility as well. So we'll get to see how these teams make use of their champions.
Yeah, there's a lot of displacement in this game. If you're actually thinking about it, the 4 champions, everybody except Cassiopeia can displace the opposing team on the side of Coinflippers. So Nautilus Hook pulling them back in, Vayne can down the opposite direction, Dragon's Rage the kick, and Shyvana with her ultimate does displace people briefly. A lot of crowd control coming through, and you know, Maokai, Sejuani, Fizz, Caitlyn, Thresh, every champion on the side of Boyz in the Hood does have some form of hard crowd control. So definitely, you know, a game where you get hit by one skill shot, you might be getting hit by 2 or 3 more as that chain comes through. So we'll have to watch out for that. A lot of pick, I should say, on both sides of this game. You know, you get hit by anything, you can find yourself going down, even if you are one of those big tanks. So positioning, I think, will be key in this game, as well as vision control, you know, working around your team, making sure people aren't going off on solo missions where they're just going to find themselves taken out almost immediately. But we also talked to Acquiescence after the game yesterday, after they won their quarterfinal matchup, and he said that they were, you know, really leaning into the tank meta. He was, you know, he didn't mind playing tanks in the top lane, realizing that he didn't have to carry. And I think the mindset for Boyz in the Hood at this point in time is really, really strong. You know, none of their players are being selfish. They're not saying, I need to carry. They're putting it all out there for the team and making sure that the team can win. And I think that is an attitude that, you know, a lot of teams would do well to copy and can serve them well.
For sure. Just talking about itemization, I think there's going to be 2 huge factors that are going to factor into this game. If you're Boyz in the Hood, I think you need to take a solid look at Immolate passive. I think that's pretty obvious, at least for Sejuani. You want to be picking up Cinder Hulk, but I'd like to see Maokai pick it up as well. It might be, going a little bit outside their build path, especially if Shyvana's going AP to pick up something like Sunfire Cape, but Immolate passive is just so powerful on tanks right now, and you're mentioning the displacements. Maokai can definitely proc Immolate, on cooldown. It's also something that Coinflippers might want to take a look at if you're Nautilus, Lee Sin, Shyvana. Maybe not so much Lee Sin, but Cinderhulk can be powerful if you get behind early. But more so for Coinflippers, you might be looking at Grievous Wounds pretty hard. Maokai has a lot of healing potential. Sejuani and Caitlyn will be healing a little bit as well, so that's definitely going to be something we want to take a look at moving forward here. But that was a really fast load there. Carl wasn't expecting that.
Thank you, game. It's respectful of the late hour. It's saying, let's get right into game. Let's let Jarl go to sleep.
Riot knows,
or something.
Man.
Who knows? Yeah, they're onto us. But I guess less traffic probably in the evening lets the servers maybe load a little bit faster on that one. But yeah, picking up on your Grievous Wounds point, it was something that we didn't really see get built a whole lot yesterday against Acquiescence's Maokai. Yep. He was kind of just healing up constantly, nothing that could be done to stop him. He just, if you get 400 health back every time you're, every second or third auto attack, it's pretty hard to stop. And that turned out to work out in favor of Boyz in the Hood yesterday as they qualified 2-0 for this series. So definitely on a bit of a tear. They looked very good yesterday. We will see what Coinflippers has in store for them as we are now out of the Rift. Bit of a line of scrimmage set up here. Not a whole lot going on. It is the semifinals. Don't want to take any unnecessary risks with some crazy invades. A little bit of a dance here in the mid lane.
Yeah, for sure, and a distinct lack of teleports on Summoner's Rift today. Just the two up in the top lane. Lately, you've been seeing a lot of teleports in the bot lane, mid lane, anywhere you can afford to fit it. But looks like mid laners will be taking Ignite and Barrier, respectively. Still very strong Summoner spells, of course. But we'll back animation in the mid lane from Personify. I haven't seen that one before, actually. That was pretty funny.
Nice ward there in the middle. Not entirely sure what the theory is behind that. Probably not just asserting dominance. I imagine there's a strategy behind that. Not sure I can say I know what that strategy is, however.
Oh, I wouldn't give him too much credit.
Ward's been dropped. You can see the minion wave. He's doing great, but he will be starting on the top side. So opposite side starts here for the junglers. Could mean a little bit more early action, or it also could just mean some vertical jungling and nothing happening for 5 minutes. But, we'll find out, but something to keep note of. Some deep wards have gone through. We have a ward by the Raptors for Coinflippers and a ward over the back of the Dragon Pit for Boyz in the Hood.
Yeah, this is actually very important for Personify. If you're up against a Lee Sin, you do not want to be coming out of your first clear exactly the same spot Lee Sin is, because Lee Sin will just dumpster you. I mean, that level 3 is so powerful. So starting on the opposite side of the map means that once he gets this clear on his next buff and maybe like a bonus camp or something like that, he gets to walk out and maybe take Scuttle too, right? Without the that fear of being
very aggressive.
Yeah.
In the bot lane, Cavi gonna get ignited. The flashes come through. Luca with the headshot, the heal to keep Cavi alive. I missed the old U, keeping his support alive. But I was gonna point out again, once you were finished with that point, the level 2 could be coming through. We might see a flash flay. Once again, they're not even gonna wait. There's the flash by Astral. Flashes the mastery as he misses that hook. But again, very aggressive in the bot lane. Flash is burned almost across the board. Vayne, the only one still having that summoner alive, and just. I was going to mention it every game I try to mention it, and every game they go before I do.
Yeah, for sure. Drop your apps in the chat for the flash hook there from Astral. But, yeah, and then the hook into the minion for that one. But Boyz in the Hood, super aggressive, not getting too much for it. Got Cabin pretty close, of course. But, Sunny Desu might be in trouble here in the mid lane.
Gets hit by the Sonic Wave. Nice escape, although it might not actually be an escape. But his bot lane has arrived. He's now alive. Sunny Desu flashing himself out to safety. And that is going to be first blood going over to Astral, taking down Zero Arm. The double buffs go over. Would have maybe liked to see that going over to Luca or Sunny Desu, but picks up the kill anyway. And that's double buffs that Thresh. That hook's going to be up even more often.
Yeah, so Astral misses all the hooks he should have landed and lands the one he shouldn't have, but a pretty funny one there from the Thresh. Personify getting some vertical jungling in, taking advantage
Another hook down in the bot lane. Hate to keep cutting you off, but Cabby going very low. Astral picking up that one. Bloodthirsty supports. We love to see it here. 2-0 now, picking up that second kill for Boyz in the Hood, and an unfortunate engage by Cabby hitting that creep. Found himself in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, and that's a shutdown gold on Astral. on the Thresh. That's pretty strange. Don't see that too often, but he got 2 kills, right? So there it is. And Luca's going to shove in this last wave before backing. They have quite a bit of gold on him. 900 gold, but the lion's share is going to Astral with 1,200. And they will be spending that on Moby boots. Yeah, fully completed Moby boots. That's pretty crazy, actually. You know, few things are as scary here in the early game as a Thresh coming flying out of the jungle into your mid lane and hooking you under tower. That's a rough one indeed, and those Moby boots are going to help him make it happen. Even as I say that, Astral's looking for something, Carl, but I don't know what he's looking for.
He's going for a nice little walk. He's saying, hey, I got these cool boots. Might as well show them off. He's saying, hey, Sejuani, hey, Personify, I got these cool boots. Don't you like him? Before he wanders back bot. You'd think he's probably just going to go on a little bit of a warding mission here before wandering back down to help out Luca in the bot lane. But he's doing okay for himself. Has the pickaxe, so damage doing okay. And the wave is shoving into him. So as long as Astral gets back here in the next couple of seconds, as he does, no real harm, no foul. Missed a few CS for Luca, rather, but some vision was gained and a little bit of dominance asserted by Astral.
Yeah, dominance indeed. I miss the old U is a level up, though. Could be taking advantage of this one, but it's going to be difficult, right? I mean, there's a lot of damage coming down from Luca in the form of skill shots and various other abilities. A lot of traps there, too. You got to be careful of that. Rolling into one of those could mean your doom, but up in the top lane. Charismatic has shoved this wave up under Acquiescence.
More fighting in the bot lane. Once again, they're just going at it head-to-head here. Astral keeping himself alive. Luca trying to come up with the auto tag onto I Miss the Old You, but not going to be able to do it, but the hook might be available by Astral. No, not going to be there. The hook not quite up in time for Cabby. There's just hooks everywhere. But nobody goes down, but more fighting comes through. Not a lot of summoners available. Only the Flash on I Miss the Old You is alive. But Astral, man, he's fast on this Thresh. Get out of dodge if you are the bot lane of Coinflippers. They're going to be backing themselves off, but pretty low here in the bot lane. Might be up to that next jungle gank.
Man, if Astral hooks another minion, I don't know what I'm going to do, Carl.
Be sad, I guess. Press F in the chat. Yeah. I mean, if he's not getting a kill, he's not landing a hook. I think that's kind of what he's decided for this game. He's saying, I'm only landing the hooks on the champions if I'm going to get the kill.
Yeah, if they have 10 health and they have shutdown gold, then I'll land my hooks.
And double buffs, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I'll just keep chugging antidepressants until the pain stops. But up in the top lane, Charismatic has built a little bit of a lead here. Those waves are going to be crashing in the center, and Acquiescence, able to keep up with that sustain, is still farming. So perhaps getting themselves back into this lane. But yeah, that Shyvana lane going a lot better than I would have expected. So maybe your friend was right, Carl.
Yeah, I mean, Acquiescence hasn't died yet. So I think the friend, in that sense, a little bit wrong. He seemed to manage to die at quite an alarming rate. It must be said. We did not win that game. A little bit unfortunate, but you know, once she has that ultimate, just throwing down the giant AoE skill shots, you know, she has a dragon, right? And you got to be respectful of that dragon's breath, but it does a lot of damage real quick. We got another fight in the bot lane. I'm stunned to say it. Astral, another hook, just land that one right out of the trap. Beautifully done. Luca picking up that kill. Didn't even need the lantern that was thrown out by his support. Another kill for the Sheriff of Piltover in the bot lane.
Yep, indeed. Their first kill, actually. Astral lets them get one there, and it's Personify, Sunny Desu, and the rest of the boys in the hood, minus Acquiescence, taking this first dragon here. That is going to be a mountain dragon. That's going to help them a little bit, right? They got some pretty tanky champions on Summoner's Rift right now, but we'll see. It's not going to be a Mountain Soul, Carl. It's not going to be an Ocean Soul either. So looking at Infernal or Cloud here for a Dragon Soul today.
Not the most exciting of souls. The Infernal always fun, you know. Huge bursts of damage can come through with that one, but none of that super broken Ocean Soul or the annoying shields from Mountain today. So nice to see a little bit of a change. We had Mountain Souls kind of across the board yesterday, I do believe. So a little bit different in this one. As you know, in Champs, like I said, there was going to be no wet noodle fights. The top lane kind of has turned into that one. We haven't seen the ultimate from Shyvana. I thought we might see a little bit more all-inning, and I think that might just be more of a solo queue strat. You know, here in the competitive game, you want to be a little bit more cautious and not go for anything too crazy. Though, as I say that, Zero Armed has crept his way up into the top lane. So we might see a bit of a dive, but Maokai is not a champion that you want to dive easily. That can go wrong very, very quickly.
No,
and Flash still available for acquisitions. There is the Dragon's Descent coming through the kick back from Zero Armed. Dragon's Rage on that one. There's Twisted Advance from Acquiescence trying to get himself to safety. Sonic Wave comes through again. The Flash under the tower by Acquiescence. Zero Armed going to follow to the tower. Will he get the kill? The red buff picks up the kill, but the Triumph not enough to keep himself alive. 1 for 1. Like you said, they're in the top lane. A lot expended for that. Flash is traded, Jungler for top, and Charismatic Ultimate down as well.
I'm not sure how valuable that. Oh, wow. Personify over the wall in the bot lane. Gabby goes down almost instantly.
Oh, and he levels up, I believe. Personify gets the level 6. Glacial Prison comes through. I miss the Olio trying to trade back, but it's not going to be enough. Another double kill for the Caitlyn. A really nice play there. Lantern Flash play from Astral. Straight committal. Every summoner's been used. And very well done by the bot lane of Boyz into Hood.
Yeah, and the Coinflippers might be flipping on tails for this game. Not looking too good for them. It's definitely not over yet, though, right? It's only a 2K gold difference, and there's only one dragon for Boyz in the Hood. So definitely comebackable, right, Carl? Winnable indeed, but I'm having a premonition, Carl. I'm seeing Astral near the dragon pit, and he's hooking the last cloud. Wow! Personify gets deleted.
Astral
oh my goodness.
Run for his life. He should be okay. He has funny days to that. Sonic Wave does land, but he actually might find himself in a lot of trouble. Astral, no flash to get out. He is shut down. There's that shutdown gold we talked about on Astral being picked up by Yoshi Miner. So we were just talking about winnable game. Definitely winnable. Gold lead been cut in half during that play. Only 1,000 gold now. They are very much still in this Coinflippers. And Yoshi Miner starting to get kind of scary on this Cassiopeia. Something to watch out for.
Yeah, Snake definitely beats Fish, Carl, and Cassiopeia is one of the bigger snakes out there, so we'll have to keep an eye on that one there. But Personify might be looking for a grudge match here, wrapping around the back of Yoshi Miner. Oh, here we go.
There is the Chum the Waters in the bot lane. Luka Doncic has gone down, but meanwhile in the mid lane, Yoshi Miner going to find himself in all sorts of trouble. Personify picking up that kill. Yeah, in this case, it turns out Fish plus Glacial Monster beats Snake.
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's
Yoshi Miner
just how animal math works. I have my degree in animal math, but up in the top lane, it's Tree and Dragon. Not sure about that one, Carl. How does this peel out?
I mean, dragons you'd think start forest fires. We've read The Hobbit. Dragon beat the forest in that one, but looks like in this case the tree's putting up some fight. That's just strong. It's like a sequoia, you know, pretty resistant to fire.
Gotcha.
Really, really old here in the top lane. So he's doing pretty well for himself. We'll see how that matchup goes if he becomes a bit more flammable later on, but it's not really animal math. It's just like living things math. That's the category for this game. We got all kinds of stuff going on.
We are
and the
through the looking glass with analogies, but yeah, that Rift Herald is going to go down. Personify is going to pick up that Rift Herald there, maybe looking to drop it up in the top lane. Charismatic would not appreciate that one, but it could just be the reset coming through here. Who knows? Personify's a wily one. And no top lane Rift Herald just yet. We'll see where Personify drops the Rift Herald. But that dragon is coming up in 45 seconds, that Ocean Dragon. This could be big for either team's solo laners. That sustain is always much appreciated, right? So we'll have to see if either team makes a play for that. But neither team looking really interested in it for just now. Meanwhile, Coinflippers have decreased that gold lead to less than 1,000, looking at about 700 now. So continuing to close the gap.
Absolutely. Also, a lot of these kills for Boyz and Hood are on non-priority targets. You know, 2 kills on the Thresh and the 1 kill on Personify. 1 on Acquiescence as well. So Sunny Daysu not really getting rolling. It's really just Luka in the bot lane that's doing very well for himself for the carries here of Boyz and Hood. I keep getting baited. I keep thinking we're seeing a big fight in the top lane, and then they just kind of turn around and walk off. So they're still wet noodling up there in the forest. Very resilient to that dragon, although she hasn't gone full form, hasn't gone Super Saiyan yet, so we might see that coming out as a little bit of a dragon dance. We're just playing Ring Around the Rosie And that ring ends with Boyz in the Hood in the mid lane. They do have the Herald too, so that might get summoned up here. They have summoned that. The Dragon's been started. That's going to be going down. You have to feel almost immediately Personify going to be a little bit too late to this Dragon party. Dragon has gone down. Blue team securing that one. Coinflippers picking that up. Personify has to take the Lantern to get himself to safety. The teleport has come through. Acquiescence has used that. And here, Kabi going to be a little bit caught out here. He has used the ultimate onto Luca, but it's not going to stop him at all as this fight is going to continue. The support left to die in the backline. He will be falling on this one. Yoshimaru has gone down as well. Zero armed, very low, not long for this world. He is picked up. Double kill now for Sunny Day, so he's starting to get rolling. Astral running forward. The boots are on the hook. Not going to hit just a little bit wide. Dragon's Descent was available still. So overall, very good fight for Boyz in the Hood, winning it 3-0 with the use of that teleport.
Yeah, Coinflippers get a dragon, but looks like they're going to lose both their mid lane turrets. So in my mind, Carl, probably not worth. You know, obviously, if they make good use of the dragon, maybe they can turn this around, but it's not looking good, at least at this stage. Ooh,
we might see a bit of a re-engage. The flash forward from Cabby gets the kill on a Personify. A little bit of over-aggression, I think, by Boyz in the Hood. They're going to lose 2 members thus far. The chase has continued. Final hour popped by I Miss the Old You. Hook going to go a little bit short of Luca. He's able to walk himself to safety. So 2 kills on the re-engage and a counter push down the mid lane. This tower could be falling here. It looks like it is going to have to be conceded. Just a little bit of an overstay by Boyz in the Hood.
Yeah, for sure, and a couple pregame predictions have come through now. Acquiescence completes their Sunfire Cape, making use of that full Immolate passive. They've had the lesser one for a while now, but now they have the full Immolate. And also that Bramble Dust picked up for Charismatic is going to be limiting some of the healing coming out from Acquiescence, but not all of it, right? I mean, Grievous Wounds is effective, but not 100%. So there's still going to be a little bit of healing coming out from this Maokai, but definitely good pickups from both top laners, and I can appreciate the hustle on that one. Of course, Cinder Hulk also for Personify coming through. No Cinder Hulk for Zero Armed, and apart from that, I don't think there's any other healing reductions, so no dice on that one.
Unlucky once again. It's always hard to build, you know, just saying. There's no real, you know, there's no Vladimir, like, what, there's not a ton of healing. Why am I going to buy it? Just passing it up, you know, I'll buy it later, and then you never really get back to it. Other items that have completed, I want to touch on the support difference right now. We have the Gargoyle Stone Plate completed for Astral, but not for Cabby. So if there is a fight in the next couple of minutes, that could make all the difference. Sunny Desu finds the Blind Monk in the bot lane, Zero Arm there to stop his little gank, but he is down there 2 for 1 as Cabby could find himself a little bit caught out. There is the ultimate used onto Luca, but once again, there's the last going to take himself forward. The trap as well, going to get stunned up by the Petrifying Gaze. Yoshimaru trying to get himself out of safety, but Acquiescence has picked up the kill onto the support. And Cabby just a little bit caught out once again. 0-5 now. Not the game that he was hoping for here in the semifinals. He finds himself in the Death Chamber once again.
Yeah, not at all. I would have to imagine. I mean, he doesn't, like you mentioned, have the Gargoyle Stone Plate. And yeah, Sunny Desu is going to take that outer turret down the bot lane. Things continuing to get worse for the Coinflippers. 4K, or 3.5K, excuse me, gold difference now has expanded quite a bit from what it used to be.
Is Astral trying to, like, Astral?
Ooh.
Just
Astral missing those hooks, but winning those games, right? So, who's the better Thresh, right? Kind of failing upwards a little bit here.
Zero Armed is here. Luca could find himself in a little bit of trouble pretty quickly. Acquiescence has arrived on the scene, though. Zero Armed saying, whoa, where'd this tree come from? Yoshimaru trying to 1v2 on the side as well. Not going to work out for him. Ace in the hole has been used onto him very low. Now, we might be about to see a turret dive. Acquiescence, we mentioned the Immolate passive, could be doing it all for himself. Dragon's Rage barely damages him. He's going back forward. Wow, that's a huge heal for himself. Yoshimaru very low, but he might be able to get out to safety. The flash from Acquiescence not going to be able to pick up the kill. Yoshimaru has slain the tree in this situation as the fight is going to continue. A double kill now as Personify has found himself taken out. I Miss the Old You, going to go very low, going to be taken out by Sunny Desu. What assassination in the backline, and Luca is untouched in the back. Zero Armed going to be falling as well, and it's a double kill for Sunny Desu. In the end, 2 for 2 is a fight that looked pretty bad for Boyz in the Hood at the start, has been salvaged.
Yeah, Acquiescence and Personify going down in that fight, but to be honest, considering the way they started out the fight, I think you're right. That's a pretty good salvage for that one, but I think I'm going to start keeping track of missed hooks for Astral there. I think it was like 3 in that fight, which is pretty rough. but hey, they're still winning. So
they're still winning, so it must be good.
Winning. Yeah, they're picking up this Rift Herald now, and this will be their second one, I believe. Yeah, I think Personify got the last one as well. So 2 Rift Heralds for Boyz in the Hood, making their control of Epic Monsters, fairly solid. It's really just one dragon that they dropped, and it could be this dragon as well. An Infernal Soul, by the way. I don't think we've mentioned yet, but pretty powerful soul, and both these teams would definitely like to have that. A lot of damage coming through from both teams, so it would definitely help them out to get that Infernal Soul and really just get any Infernal Dragons at all at this point. Either team has 1 dragon, so if they get the Dragon Soul, they'll be picking up 3 Infernal Dragons. It's a lot of damage coming through, Carl.
I thought Coinflippers might go for that dragon quickly since there was the Herald going on and members of Boyz in the Hood were not there. But again, on blue side, a little bit harder to contest that dragon. You do have to walk all the way around. So maybe just didn't feel comfortable, but the whole team is here for both sides. We can see a 5 versus 5 fight here. Not a lot of summoners available. Flash is missing. Key flashes on both sides. So watch out for that. These carries are a little bit more immobile. Both AD carries now without that summoner, and no flashes for the junglers either. So no flash kick is available and no flash steal. So see how that transpires here. Sunny Daysuit trying to run a bit of interference. Here is the smite goes down, but it's not actually going to take it out. Acquiescence does get the dragon for his team as the fight's going to continue. Dragon's descent through the entire fight. I missed the old U in the backline trying to kite his way out. Luka Doncic's trying to do the same as well. He picks up the kill onto Charismatic. His Yoshi Miner trying to kite his way back out. All these carries just trying to keep themselves alive. Zero Arm moving on to Luka. Luka, can he get the build over Peacemaker? He cannot. He actually does get it through, but not able to pick up the kill as we are now trying to rewrite the Great Escape here. I saw that movie, and I don't think this escape is going to work out too well here for the Coinflippers. Acquiescence picking up the kill onto Cabby. Personify follows through with his own onto Zero Armed, and it is an ace for Boyz in the Hood, the dragon, and the fight as well.
Yep, sitting at 2 dragons now. They just need 2 for that soul, and the Baron is up, so they'll be looking to get the reset in, but might be making a play around that objective next. We'll have to see, but at this point, the vision game coming through from Boyz in the Hood is just legendary. I mean, the map is a sea of red, right? There's so many wards out here for Boyz in the Hood. They're doing quite well for themselves indeed. Looks like most of the team is looking to start posturing around Baron, so that's would have to be their next move in my mind, but we'll see what they move towards.
Definitely. Don't want to rush the Baron too early. Can be a little bit of an issue if you try to go for it too early and find it just kind of killing you. It does do a decent amount of damage early in the game, so something to watch out for. I want to point out the items now. We have 2 major items completed on both Sunny Daysuit and Luka Doncic. I may not have time. I think we do. The rapid fire cannon second for Luka. Usually the Storm Razor is the more standard option, but I think in this game, very smart to go with the rapid fire cannon. He's kind of realizing that all he needs to do in these fights is stay alive and not get one shot. And the rapid fire allows him to kind of fight on the outskirts of the fights, throw in those auto attacks as they're available, and will also help out with that fleet footwork as well, having that too. Little bit of kite on the back line. So I think a smart adaptation, realizing he doesn't need to do all of the damage as his team, is not up against that many tanks. He doesn't need to be doing that shred duty, and he's just there to stay alive and pump out the damage as he can. So a smart adaptation, as you do see a bit of a fight. Cabby has to pop the Gargoyle Stone, but the teleport is coming through as well from Charismatic. He gets out, but not channeled in return by Acquiescence. So kind of a wasted teleport. No fight was taken, and Charismatic just has to walk back to the bot lane.
Yeah, interesting note about the Storm Razor as well. Not a lot of champions on. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's the big engage.
Astral going to be caught out here. The Gargoyle not used to keep himself alive. I missed the old U picking up that one kill. The Herald actually been spawning in the top lane by Sunny Daysuit, dropping that one down, trying to take that tower, but kind of just a free kill. Astral find himself going to the death chamber.
Yep, maybe a little bit overextended or something like that, but the point I wanted to make before the fight was that the Storm Razor, I think, wouldn't help them too much here. I think most of the champions that are coming at him aren't doing so by running necessarily. It's going to be mostly dashes, stuff like that, like the Lee Sin, Nautilus, Shyvana. So having their movement speed slower won't help as much as it would with other champions, so I think you're right. Just getting that extra range will probably help them more than the Storm Razor would. So that's a good item for them. But kind of a strange build from Charismatic. I mean, I'm not sure Shyvanas are built this way anymore. I definitely like it. I appreciate kind of the older Shyvana build for sure, that like bruiser style build, but I've been seeing a lot of AP Shyvanas in recent memory, and in fact, as back as far as I can remember, it's just been AP Shyvana that's kind of dominated the whole Shyvana scene. So yeah, it's a little different seeing this bruiser build.
Just trying to maybe go for a little bit more skirmishing ability. Not really skirmishing, but, you know, more staying power in the fights, whereas that the AP build tends to be more just kind of throwing out fireballs and standing there. Maybe trying to be a little bit more frontliney for his team. You know, we mentioned not a ton of tankiness here for the Coinflippers side. So with the death stance, able to stand and fight maybe a little bit longer, a little bit less damage, but we have the Vayne and the Cassiopeia for damage. So not necessarily a huge need for that coming through from the top lane. But definitely an interesting build. I agree with you. Not a whole lot of AD Shyvana or Bruiser Shyvana even that I see recently, as we might see a bit of a flank coming through here. Actually, there's the engage under Personify, the kick over the wall, not going to land. The hook has landed from Astral. Gargoyle going to be frog to keep himself alive. The Petrifying Gaze in the backline onto Sunny Daysu, but he's able to get onto his pole and get himself out. Redemption coming down to try to keep his team alive. Luca on a killing spree now in the backline. He has picked up a double kill in this fight as the Dragon has come through. Dragon's descent, but it looks like he's going to be extinguished. It is a triple kill here for Luca and a 4-for-0 in the fight as Boyz in the Hood clean up on a nice flank and move toward the Baron.
Yeah, they'll be looking for the Baron here. It shouldn't be too hard for them to get. Caitlyn may be slowing them down a little bit more than other ADCs, but that said, they're so far ahead at this stage, it shouldn't take too long at all, despite their ADC. They might even have time to pick up this Dragon. That third Dragon would be very strong for them as well. But we'll see how fast this Baron goes down. Looks like Coinflippers are looking to try and steal this Dragon away while the Boyz in the Hood are preoccupied, but I'm not sure. Looks like Boyz in the Hood are almost on top of the Dragon. It might be close, though, Carl. We'll see.
Looks like Boyz in the Hood should be okay here. They were able to push up mid-wave, so they have that pressure. Acquiescence, everybody's fleeing from him. Don't really want to be hitting that tank. He's saying, hey, I'll fight. And oh my god, does he want to fight? Indeed, there is the twisted advance. I missed the old dude going very low. Acquiescence chasing, and he is completely out of this fight. Sunny Daysu trying to chase onto Yoshimaru, has to flash over the wall, but Luca is once again untouched in this fight, running forward, no fear. And oh my god, the flash from him to pick up the kill onto I missed the old dude. The Vayne going down. Yoshimaru very low as well. Sunny Daysu picking up that kill. He is now dominating as Luca has fallen at the end of this fight. It's now 2 versus 3. The top laners all alive. This could be a bit of a noodle fight here. Acquiescence able to run out of mana, actually. X1 does have enough for the twisted advance. The hook over the wall. Astral misses another hook. Oh no, you hate to see it. And this is the wettest of noodle fights. Astral going pretty low. He's going to be taken out. Acquiescence has to run, and this is a team fight win for the Coinflippers. A nice flash from Luca, but without that AD carry, no damage left. The shutdown goes down onto Acquiescence, and the Dragon's going to go over to Coinflippers.
I'm pretty sure at some point in this fight, Charismatic had 10 health, but we won't talk about that. The Coinflippers pick up their second drag of the game, and critically, Carl, delay the Dragon Soul for the Boyz in the Hood by another 5 minutes, putting their total delay at 10 minutes now. That's 10 more minutes for a team to scale. That's really going to help Yoshimaru and Vayne. I miss the old you quite a lot, right? I mean, that's really their win condition at this point, is getting those hyper carries online. And, you know, I don't think they're really out of the game yet. I mean, they're 6k gold behind, which is a lot, but I mean, in terms of late game hyper carries, no one really carries as hard as Vayne does, right? And Cassiopeia's not very far behind either. So these are some very, very scary carries. And that was just way too many rhymes. So I'm going to kick it back to you, Carl.
Luca, in that fight, I think, you know, a nice flash to get the kill onto the Vayne. I missed the old you taken out with that flash. And, you know, nice vision in the fight to realize he had that opportunity, but it also did lead to him falling in that fight. And I missed the old you was very low at that point. You know, I mentioned at the start how Sunny Daysu had almost taken him out along with Acquiescence. And I think, you know, expending that summoner spell, you have to be very careful when you're playing a mobile AD carry like the Caitlyn. You need to be saving that flash for escape in these fights, and he was taken out. He's kind of the only DPS. You know, we saw Acquiescence and Astral just not able to get anything done, basically, after Luca had gone down. Even against the tanks, they were still losing. So Luca needs to keep himself alive, and if he has good positioning, we've seen him just rip through these fights, but if he's getting caught out, that's kind of their lose condition. You know, win conditions are important, lose conditions can be real as well. As speaking of Luca, he's going to get caught out here, tries to net himself back to safety. Can he take the Lantern?
Oh, the Lantern!
No! But he is taken out. The auto attack from I Miss the Old You, getting one back, and a nice play. Another hook goes wide by Astral. He's going to get stunned with the Condemn, and the tables have turned. Boyz in the Hood finding themselves on the back foot for the first time. Their bot lane taken out.
I'm starting to think Astral might not be cut out for this Thresh life. This is a lot of missed hooks. I don't mean to flame the guy, but at this point, kind of need an explanation, right?
Personify flirting with death as well.
Yep. Cheeky on the Sejuani. They are very far ahead, though, so it's going to be difficult to take those tanks down. I think a lot of what played into that dragon fight where Acquiescence went down was that they were just out of mana, right? And after that extremely long play, winning the team fight, taking the Baron, running back across the map to the dragon, trying to take the dragon and then losing another team fight, just didn't have any resources left, right? I have my doubts that Acquiescence couldn't have won that if he didn't have full mana. I mean, I've seen Maokai's pull it off, right?
Yeah, he heals a lot.
There's a lot of healing there. Now, there's healing reduction coming through from Charismatic, but I don't know, Carl. I've seen it done.
Yeah, he only heals for like 500 health.
Yeah.
Every 2 seconds.
How is he going to heal with just that healing?
Yeah, it's insane.
My goodness. Oh, hey, I don't think we reported yet. Cabby completed that Gargoyle Stone Plate, so that is now completed for the Nautilus. But and Astral did pick up a redemption.
See a death bush here, Sonny. Flirt with death. Nobody's really sure if they want to fight. Kind of saw the blue suede shoes on that one, back and forth. They decide no. They're just looking at each other, dragging this game out a little bit longer. Only a 5,000 gold lead now. So it definitely is shrinking. Also to report, the Shiv has been completed by Luca, so he's a little bit stronger now. And the Last Whisper as well, so very strong. If he's not getting flash kicked, or even just ward hop kicked, and a little bit caught out like he was in that last situation, he will be bringing the pain, but he does need to keep himself safe. The flash almost back available, so that should be up. With the Baron here, you know, I think Boyz in the Hood still very much in control, but just less in control than they were a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the lead is waning, as it were, but Coinflippers still have a long way to go. That next dragon is coming up in less than a minute, though. That would put either team on dragon soul point. So this is going to be an important objective, and the Coinflippers have gotten themselves entrenched
Luca
in the area. They will have the defending advantage here. They said, all right, everybody get on the line here in this bush, and then we'll all leave.
And everybody just kind of going into their separate corners here. Boyz in the Hood saying, we'll take the Baron. You go ahead and have fun with that dragon. You already got one on your team. Maybe they're trying to add that one on. Throw Shyvana. Can you sacrifice her to give yourself the soul? Not too sure about that one. Doesn't seem like that would be terribly balanced, but there's just no one here to stop the Baron.
You know, if they don't try to make a play around Baron, I'm going to need them to run to the dragon pit right now, but it looks like
they're walking in. They just don't have any vision.
Yep.
There's a hook. Astral lands the hook. He lands the hook. Personify picks up the kill. On to 0 on the Dragon's set into the backline. Astral could find himself fallen, but he is going to keep himself alive. Luca has picked up the kill on a Charismatic. Yoshimaru trying to get himself to safety, but the sapling going to be taken in very low. Acquiescence is on the chip. Luca getting ripped apart by the Vayne. Can he do the push? Was the wrong character, but the Vayne has been taken down. Personify now on the chase on the Cabby. He's the only one left. It's a 2 versus 1. We've seen the tank battle before, but I think this one's going to be going over to Boyz in the Hood. A nice triple kill by I Miss the Old You in the fight.
Riveting gameplay.
Quite enough, and finally we get to the end of it. It's an ace. We're 50 kills into this game. 5 for 3 in that team fight in the favor of Boyz in the Hood.
Yeah, Carl, just barely, man, right? I think if it had been Cabby and I Miss the Old You alive against Acquiescence and Personify, it would have been a different fight again. So getting very, very close to the Coinflippers. You know, they lose another fight, but they did manage to push the Boyz in the Hood off the Baron this time, right? So the Boyz in the Hood don't have that objective quite yet. They also don't have the Dragon yet, so the Coinflippers can look to mount another defense of that objective. That would definitely help them out if they can, you know, shove Boyz in the Hood off of that one. Again, we keep talking about it, but Coinflippers are outscaling them, and we're starting to see it.
We're seeing it.
It's only a matter of time at this point. I would give it 5 to 10 minutes for the Coinflippers start winning these team fights.
Yeah, Caitlyn has completed the Lord Dominic's regard. So this is probably her strongest point in the game. This Caitlyn, very, very strong. Does not have flash in this team fight. So watch out for that. There are 4 flashes available for Coinflippers. Not as many on the side of Boyz in the Hood, and especially not on Luca. Here it could be the engage. The final hour has been popped. Acquiescence trying to get a bit of disengage going through. The ultimate has come along from the waters. Has to be flashed by Charismatic to try to keep it from hitting his teammates. A nice knock up onto the side of Boyz in the Hood, but not able to be followed up on. Saplings coming rolling through. The Dragon has been started. We could see a bit of a 50-50. He comes through here. It has been taken by the blue team. Coinflippers has picked that one up. Luca is now safe in the bot lane, but the shred is coming through here. Luca trying to do his damnedest to get the damage out. The champions are so low on this one. Luca, can he carry this team fight? The carries are hitting back at each other. The snake is prevailing. It looks like Pop's designed it, but he's very low. He could be finding himself going down. He is going to be taken out, and once again, it's the jungler and top laner for Boyz in the Hood picking up the pieces after the fight. And a 4-for-3, but the Dragon went over to the Coinflippers.
Ladies and gentlemen, tank meta. There it is. 2 tanks, only ones left alive. Almost full health bars on Acquiescence. It's just crazy, right? Immolate, so strong right now. They have a Mountain Dragon, which is also bolstering those tank stats. But again, we kind of see the Coinflippers having better and better team fights. And they actually got that Dragon on that one. So I'm not even sure that's a lost team fight for them. I mean, Boyz in the Hood had one extra member remaining after the fight, but Coinflippers got the objective, and since they're scaling harder, I think the Dragon means more for them.
Yeah, the Dragon's very important. You know, being on that soul point, you just have a lot more priority when it does come for that next one to be alive, which should be in just a couple of minutes. See if the Baron gets taken before then, or it could be a nice trade. You know, either one of those really benefiting the Coinflippers if it comes down to it. Astral dodging away from the hook, and the flash will be back up. You'd hope for Luka Doncic, but he gets...
Cabby just ults Luka on site.
Yep, charge used. That's an 80-second cooldown, so there is a window now to fight actually a lot safer in the fight. Without that up zero, I'm pretty unsafe. The hook is going to miss. So,
you know, I've been roasting Astral for most of this game about the hooks, but
Sonic Wave?
What I will say... Oh, could get the engage.
He's fine.
No, it doesn't get that. What I will say about Astral is that the guy has crazy lanterns, right?
True.
We have been seeing some nutty lanterns
Teleport.
over walls.
Zero can find himself in all sorts of trouble here. Oh my god, that crit coming through. Zero armed very low. The hook not quite going to land in the backline, and Sunny Days who has to get himself to safety on the waters. But Cabby now caught out of position. The Gargoyle will only buy you so much time. He's going to be stunned, and he will be taken out. 5 versus 4 now for 40 seconds on the map, as it looks like Boyz in the Hood going to just turn and burn on the Baron. They'll be starting this one up.
Yeah, and they're on the clock for the Baron, right? If the Dragon comes up and the Baron's still alive, they're going to have to trade it back. So they really need to take this Baron. They need to take it quickly. And then taking it quickly, they are. Looks like they're going to have that one down before Coinflippers have anything to say about it. Yeah, there's no contest at all for the objective. So it is going to be both these teams on equal footing for this Dragon to come up. Not what the Coinflippers want, but... that 5-minute mark I talked about is here. I think the Coinflippers are on deck to start winning these fights. They are almost 10k gold behind now. So, you know, at some point, scaling is only going to matter so much. The Boyz in the Hood just have, like, way more items.
See? Bit of a fight. Charismatic getting traded on, but he is very tanky. At this point, we mentioned that bruiser type build. The push is coming through on the inhibitor. Charismatic in the backline. The flash not quite available for Luca yet. It is just a couple of seconds. He is going to be potentially in a bit of trouble. Gets himself into the backline. The hook going to be used by Astral to try to keep his AD carry alive. But meanwhile, Sunny Days, who has picked up the kill on Yoshi, out of this fight going very well for Boyz in the Hood. Not the fight that Coinflippers were looking for. Sunny Days, who keeping himself alive, has picked up the double kill, and it is an ace. 5 for 0 at a great team fight from Boyz in the Hood with the Baron buff pushing through, and they will be finishing off this first game. The Nexus Tower's just a formality at this point. They're going to be going down. The focus fire onto the Nexus, and Boyz in the Hood continue their hype train and win the first game to go 1-0 over the Coinflippers in the semifinal.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, it really was the fight between snowballing and scaling, and in this instance, snowballing was just way too powerful. Right at the end there, you could see the gold difference was like, I think that's 13,000 gold. That's a lot of gold there, Carl. That's like, what, 4 death caps or something like that? Can you imagine if Sunny Desert just had 4 death caps in there?
That's a lot of hats.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty wild, but Yeah, in convincing fashion, Boys in the Hood win game 1, but they weren't without chinks in the armor, right? You could see the cracks. There's definitely some weaknesses that Coinflippers can take advantage of. So in my mind, this series is by no means over.
Yeah, absolutely not. I think this game showed that both of these teams do have a lot of fight in them, and it didn't even look like they were really playing with a sub. Coinflippers, I miss the old dude doing very well for himself, almost carrying that team fight in the Dragon Pit. And we just saw a lot of these fights going down just to the tanks. Acquiescence and Personify fighting against Cabby. That's the riveting gameplay that I think a lot of folks tuned in to see. And so just a testament to how close these fights are. All the carries are gone. They've melted away, and it's just the tanks like wailing on each other, saying, hey, our guys are going to be back up before we die. And, it really just turned into a mana fight. We saw in some of those cases. Acquiescence running out of mana, then you can't do a whole lot. At that point. So got to watch out for those resources in those extended fights. But yeah, definitely both these teams do have a lot of fight in them for this game too.
Absolutely. So before game 2, I think we are going to move to a little bit of a break here. Shouldn't be too long. We're going to try to keep it short, try to keep this moving, but we'll be right back. Don't change the channel.
Welcome back, Style Esports fans, to the semifinals. It's Boyz in the hood with a 1-0 lead over the Coinflippers. We are now in Champion Select for that second game. Again, semifinals in the Demacian division here. Winner moving on to the grand finals. I'm Jarl Carl, joined by Axeman at 87. Looking forward to this game, I presume.
Yep, what's up, guys? I'm Axeman87, and I am looking forward to this game, Carl. This is going to be a good one. Last game, we saw Boyz in the Hood dominate on Coinflippers, but there were signs of life for sure. It almost seemed a couple times like Coinflippers were making a comeback. They did have the scaling Cassiopeia and also Vayne to boot. Looking pretty good in some of those later team fights, but just weren't able to beat out the snowballing coming through from Boyz in the Hood. And I did want to mention, I don't think we mentioned in the last game, but Boyz in the Hood have not lost a game yet this season, except for the game they lost to the Coinflippers. Coinflippers are the only team in the league that have beaten the Boyz in the Hood. So if there is somebody who can take them out here in the semifinals, it would be the Coinflippers. And we are going to find out if they can pull it off here. Bans already coming out. Bard, Zoe, Echo from Coinflippers, Kane, Shen, and Vigar from Boyz in the Hood.
Yeah, absolutely, and it looks like we're in the midst of a bit of a run back. Early days yet, only 10%, but Acquiescence, he loves that Maokai, and I think for good reason. He's been able to withstand pretty much any lane that he is against. A lot of value for his team, crowd control, and just a ton of tankiness up there the tree. And the Shyvana, not needless to say, but in case you weren't watching, not terribly effective in the last game against it as a lane counter. It kind of went even, a lot of CSing, and it looks like the Darius pick has been prepared for this game for Charismatic, I would presume, up in the top lane, looking to, fight a little bit more, maybe do a little bit better, and that's a horse in the jungle. So we're trading out Dragon for horse.
That is a Spectral Rider there, Hecarim, and I gotta say I have a lot of fun with Phase Rush Hecarim, but I play that in Norms and not in Platinum comps, so we'll see how Hecarim comes onto Summoner's Rift here. I'm not really sure what you actually take on Hecarim because I'm only ever meaning on the Horseman, but probably Predator, I would have to imagine, but could be Conqueror as well. I'm not sure about that one, but we are going to get to see Luca on Lucian again, as Lucian was left up in that first ban phase. Now, Luca wasn't able to pick up Lucian as they left it out of their first pick phase, and then it was banned away in the second phase there, but they do get it here in the first round of picks. They also get the Rakan to boot. This is a lot of engage, a lot of early pressure here, Carl.
Yeah, and regular Style Esports viewers, or at least folks that were around yesterday, will remember the terror of Luka Doncic's Lucian yesterday. He was popping off on that character. I believe he had Rakan with him one of those games, so a lane that they're definitely practiced in. We'll be up against the Jhin this time. A pretty immobile carry to be against Rakan and Maokai. So we'll see if I Miss the Old You is able to keep himself safe in this game, as he will not have to face the Sejuani. That's been banned out. So that bit of the tank comp here in the tank meta has been taken away. We'll see what Boyz in the Hood decide to respond with. But this is a very strong bot lane for Boyz in the Hood, and one that they clearly prized. They played it yesterday and able to, willing to spend 2 of their 3 first picks on it here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. You'll remember game 1 last night where Luca and Astral had the Lucian and Rakan and went in level 2 and absolutely destroyed the enemy bot lane, Zion, Leona. It was crazy. Just Luca ran away with the game after that one, so they'll be running it back here tonight. And yeah, I Miss the Old You is going to have Jhin. Definitely a lot of disengage on Jhin. That's going to help them if they can get the traps in the right spots. But it's going to be a difficult one. Jhin, one of those champions that has, good damage numbers for most of the game. Falls off a little bit there at the late game, though. But I would imagine Jhin has a better late game than Lucian does. So probably going to be just fine on that area. We'll see what they pick up for support, though. I'm kind of interested about this one. Oh, it's going to be the Thresh.
The Thresh, taking it away from Astral, deciding he's putting the Nautilus on the shelf for the game. We'll see if that gets traded back. Actually, what am I talking about? The Rakan already locked in. Looks like I'm losing my mind here. But it will be Thresh against the Rakan. That's a pretty nice matchup for Cabby, able to get the Flay to stop the Grand Entrance if he is fast enough from Astral. So look to see that interaction, as we might see a Kiana. That'd be kind of exciting, as that one has been locked in. So we'll get to hear me attempt to say supreme display of skill quickly, which is always fun. Thank you, Riot, for the wonderful skill names. But that will be that AD assassin in the mid lane. You have to think. We'll see what Yoshi Miner has in store to counter that, as he does have that mid lane counter pick saved up. And with that Sejuani banned out, looks like it might be the Gragas choice here for Personify. A couple of more seconds before that pick comes through. And that has been locked in. So a pretty nice early game skirmish. This is actually a combo that Cloud9 likes to run in the professional scene. The Kiana Gragas. A lot of early game potential. Level 3, level 4. Try to go for some skirmishing. Pretty much no duo that will beat that. Probably not Hecarim of those champs. Level 3, not the strongest champion. As we see, Malzahar's been locked in. That control mage try to shut down the assassin.
Yeah, for sure. And with the Malzahar pick, Coinflippers kind of solidify their comp as this like bursty early game comp, and it's going to be difficult to deal with. I really like what I miss the old you and Cabby have done with this lane. They've kind of gotten themselves some disengage options with Flay, and then also the I think they're called Death Blossoms, but anyway, Jin's traps. But without sacrificing their aggressive options as well too. You can definitely be aggressive with both those champions. So very well done, very well drafted on that one. Really, the only part of the Coinflippers draft that remains to be proven is kind of this Darius Hecarim top lane duo. I'm not 100% on it. I don't think they're bad champions, especially Darius is very strong right now, but at least in the competitive scene, unproven in my mind.
Yeah, just haven't seen it, that many times. Darius, definitely a annoying top laner in solo queue to play against. Doesn't have a lot of terrible matchups, but, is susceptible to being ganked early. So we'll see where that Predator goes. I would assume it will be the Predator on Personify. And, kind of that first Predator of the game can be very, very important. See where that comes through. So see if that's used in the top lane. Darius, if he gets behind, is just, not that useful. Isn't really that tanky. Can't burst people down. And if he's not getting the resets with the ultimate, he's not really doing a whole lot. So we'll see how that lane progresses. I think left to their own devices, Darius will win that, but we'll see what happens with the jungle intervention and, just general game state. If they're winning super hard, Acquiescence doesn't need to do a whole lot for his side, can just kind of gracefully lose the lane and hopefully not get killed too many times, especially if Luca and Astral are kind of doing what they did yesterday and smashing bot lanes on this. And I want to just get in ahead of the players and ahead of Axeman and note that we should watch for the level 2 fight in the bot lane, or even level 1 fight. I've been trying to say it all these games, finally getting it in, so watch out for that around the 2-minute 30-second mark for when these champs are finally going toe-to-toe, and they like to do it pretty early.
For sure, especially if you're Luca, right? I mean, if I'm Luca, I hit level 2 and go in immediately, especially with Rakan by my side, right? They might have a little bit of problems here, we mentioned earlier. I mean, Flay from Thresh is going to be a difficult barrier to overcome. The onus is gonna be on Cabby to execute, right? I mean, after that Nautilus game, I feel like if I'm Luca and Astral, I just go in just to test him, just to see if he has the mechanics for it. But obviously pressing E isn't the hardest thing, so I believe in Cabby and their ability to pull this off. I think they can do it, but of course we will have to see. A couple variable builds we can look at here. For one thing, I mentioned I have no idea what Hecarim's build anymore, so maybe Predator on that one. Gragas as well could take Predator, could take something a little more pedestrian, but we'll be loading on the Rift to find out all about that. Luca as well has a couple different builds he can pick up on. I know yesterday we were talking about we do like the Blade of the Ruin King into the Essence Reaver, and so does Luca, so definitely has that option, but which one he builds first will be up to him. And
yeah, he's a big fan of the Essence Reaver first. Yesterday, the joke was every time I predicted what he would do exactly the opposite. So what do I know anymore? This game to me seems like a very clear Bork and Essence Reaver kind of game. So Blade of the Ruin King for the tank shred, and then crit following that. So probably that's not what he'll build. To me, it's just there's a lot of champions that have a lot of health. The Bork, very useful. Get the healing, get the tank shred, attack speed. It's a very nice utility item and can give you a lot of dueling potential with that passive, which is double procced by his own double shot passive. So we'll see what he goes for. He had been going for kind of like an early BF sword into crit build for the lane, and if he does want to continue to assert that lane dominance, I think that's still a viable build, just given how aggressive this lane plays. So we'll see how he comes out with that, but we should get a look at the keystones here in just a couple of seconds. Hoping to see a few more teleports. I would expect Malzahar has taken that, so we might see a little bit more teleporting. Eldahar does have that, but not for Sunny Desu on the Kiana. So there's a 2-to-1 teleport disadvantage here. And Hecarim actually does not have Predator. He has gone Conqueror with the Ignite, so not as much mobility, and that's a fast load.
That was an incredibly fast load. So I guess
there's nobody playing anymore.
Yeah, the Intel i9s, is that what we all have? I'm not sure. Which is
upgraded server.
Internet, but yeah, upgraded server for sure. But yeah, I was expecting a lot of things from Zero Armed. Was not expecting the Ignite. So that's an interesting one there. But I almost kind of like my Phase Rush better, but maybe that's just me. It is going to be Predator on the Gragas. And fairly standard, I guess. It's still kind of a meme when you think about it, but it works pretty well. So that's all that matters, right? And I think the build from Luca is really going to depend on how this level 2 goes, right? I mean, if he goes in and gets a double kill like he did in game 1 last night, I'd probably just pick up BF2, right? Because you can and because it feels great. But
that's true.
I mean, if he doesn't, maybe we'll see the Bork first,
or just Bork second, like he did yesterday, just to really throw me off.
Yeah.
I'm still tilted about that. So,
or maybe he just buys Hurricane first item and then just wins with that. Who knows?
That, yeah, don't think that's gonna hit. But I mean, you never know. I've never seen Brunans actually on Lucian.
Me neither.
That would be a lot of bolts, as you see. A little bit of a sortie in force here. Ward going down. Little cheeky ward. Oh, taken out. 10 gold. I missed the old you. He's saying worth. It's over. Gold lead for us on that one. A little bit of XP as well. I don't think that really will ever matter, but it's fun. So. That's pretty exciting as the buffs have spawned. No real early shenanigans. No deep ward, actually, for Boyz in the Hood. So only one for Coinflippers. They'll have a little bit more jungle information tracking his Gragas.
Yep, for sure. That Guardian proc coming through from Astro is going to save a little bit of health for Personify. But much like the XP from the ward, it probably won't matter. We are, of course, all eyes on the bot lane to see this level 2 engage. I believe it's something like 6 minions or something like that.
9 is level 2.
9 minions. So,
yeah.
Both of them look to be approaching that goal. Luca actually notably behind at the moment. That could be an issue.
This will be the one game they don't fight, of course.
Yeah, that fourth shot is very threatening from I Miss the Old U. Doing a lot to zone, and ooh, maybe a flame misused there. If they hit
level
9.
2 hit by I Miss the Old U.
Oh, wow,
and
okay. Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, for sure from the Coinflippers, who maybe have a better level 1 than the Boyz in the Hood.
Yeah, not a whole lot comes of that. Like we said, unfortunately, a little bit of fighting in the top lane has gone down. Charismatic popping his, proccing his passive there, 5 stacks on that one, but not a whole lot he's able to do with that one. He's going to be walking away, but Astro, he's level 2 now. He's going in.
Oh, there it is.
He goes down, Cabby pops the Guardian and keeps himself alive. He gets it procced, rather. Astro, the hook misses by Cabby, not able to land that one, and everybody just kind of walks away, but more summoners used, definitely, by the Coinflippers. 3 for just the Ignite of Astro.
I will pay an unidentified amount of money for someone in the chat to make a supercut of all the Thresh hooks that were missed tonight, because I would just find that so funny. I mean, I wasn't going to say anything, but Gabby's already missed 3, so I think it might be good if one of these teams just banned Thresh for game 3. If we go there, that's just a lot going on, but yeah, both teams actually survived the level 2 engages here. Not what I was expecting for sure, but now it's
This is an interesting little roam.
Yeah.
Hecarim's behind them. This could be very weird, very quick.
Yep. And I think it's been weird this whole time, because
the hook! The hook has landed! There's the Deadly Flourish coming through, but they don't know Hecarim is here. This could go disastrously long. Luca dashing away. Astro trying to get himself out to safety as well. Luca pops the heal. Does have the flash to get himself over the wall. He will use that summoner. Oh, what a nice route from Sunny Desu, and everybody walks away from that fight.
Yep, couple flashes burned there. I missed the old U, really the only one with their flash remaining down here in the bot lane. That's an important cooldown, right? I mean, that could really come into play if we have another fight here in the bot lane. But up in the top lane, Charismatic might be looking for something here. Or maybe not. Maybe it's just more... Oh,
he's definitely looking for it. Whether he'll find it is the next question. Gets the pull up, but he's out of mana at this point, so... Twisted Advance, their Acquiescence. Who's going to... Ooh, Acquiescence going pretty low. He might have to get himself out. He does have his jungler here, Personify. This could be a nice gank opportunity. Here comes the Predator. Has been proc. Charismatic now sees the icon over his head and sees the Fat Man coming toward him. Flash body slap straight away.
Oh, wow!
From Charismatic picking up first blood onto Acquiescence. He's got the moves. Charismatic picking up first blood.
Yeah, handily as well. Expends that Flash Summoner spell, but I mean, hey, first blood's worth it, right, Carl? Still has his teleport available as well. Acquiescence still has Flash, which might be a bit of a misplay there. I mean, obviously the Flash Q from Darius is a very sudden thing, but I have to think if you're Maokai, you flash out of that situation. Or never get close in the first place, to be honest. Really not respecting the bleed, I think, was the main issue there. So yeah, definitely got to watch out for that one. But just like that, Charismatic is in a very solid place, 11 CS lead, and they're walking back to lane, so they will maintain their teleport.
Absolutely, and Darius is one of those champs in solo queue. You see him get first blood, and especially if you're an AD carry, let me tell you, your heart sinks. That champion can get out of control very quickly. Something to watch out for. In this game, if Charismatic is able to get a few more kills, he could turn into quite the monster, but Acquiescence will probably do his best, I feel sure, in the top lane to keep his laner in check there, see a little bit of trading, a little bit of an XP lead now for the Darius, and he has that Phage as well, so very happy up in the top lane. You know, at this point, you're probably a little bit worried to gank him, actually. It could go pretty badly for you. You do not want to give that double kill over feeding up champions one at a time into that Noxian Guillotine. Something to watch out for, as well as he is pulling in Acquiescence to every chance he has.
Yep, for sure, and it's Boyz in the Hood that might be starting up this dragon, but Deathbush seems to be in order for the trio here, and they are hard committing. But Cabby drops a real good ward into the bush and reveals those enemies there. Well done, Cabby. Well done indeed. But they still don't have any vision on the dragon, so that is an option for Boyz in the Hood looking forward. Guardian proc's going to save a little bit of damage, but you know, not the biggest skill shot you would have liked to have blocked, but they block it anyway, so a little bit of help there. Now, something might be going down the mid lane, but Sunny Desu isn't going to know about it.
Until right now, there's the flash suppression. There's the Supreme skill. Might get himself out of safety. Gonna get silenced. Can't get himself anywhere. The ignite is
going down. It goes in.
Not gonna be able to pick up the kill. He was trying to pull a Charismatic on that one, but he didn't. He was not Charismatic enough. Falls in the end, using both summoners. Tried to go for the swag play. It just wasn't enough in the top lane. Speaking of the man, Charismatic picks up the solo kill on the Acquiescence. This is falling apart for Boyz in the Hood.
Yeah, for sure. The Maokai pick starting to falter. Not the area where I thought Boyz in the Hood would fail for sure. Acquiescence Maokai has just been so strong the last couple days in the playoffs. But
in the
Acquiescence,
the fight coming down. There's a teleport from Yoshi Minor onto Astro. The silence has gone down. Malefic Visions as well. Meanwhile, up in the river, bit of a fight between Zero Armed and Personify. The ultimates have been used. There's the big barrel. Wow. Just trade. The dragon, I think, helping out, actually, picking up that last kill onto Personify, saying, get out of my jungle. I'm tired of you killing me. I'm fighting back. And that's one kill for the dragon. And one kill. Oh, the flash! Fourth shot from I Miss the Old You. Picking up Astral. No respect given to that fourth shot. Didn't say it. 4. You're out.
Yep, Cabby with a good Lancer in there too as well. Very well done. Showing their chops on the champion and saving their ADC there. But yeah, this dragon is staying up for the time being. And that is going to push any hope of a Dragon Soul back further into the game. A little strange. I mean, both these teams are fairly strong in the early game. So you would have thought one would go for that objective by now, but it's almost like they're canceling each other out, just like we saw in the jungle there. Both junglers kind of killing each other, and that definitely is making it very, very difficult for them to pick up the dragon when the junglers are killing each other, right? Might be a good idea to start looking for this Rift Herald, especially if you're zero-armed, right? You have so much priority up there coming from Charismatic 97. This Darius just has such a big lead that I feel like you could convert that into a Rift Herald fairly easily, but Astral's looking for something, not... Oh, wow, and the Coinflippers sneak a dragon away from the Boyz in the Hood. Not even I was expecting that one, Carl, but they do pick that up there, and Astral still looking for something, still not finding it.
Yeah, just not quite what he was hoping for there. Just kind of watching the dragon go down. Wasn't able to get a whole lot done. Only level 4 on this recon. Has been missing out on some XP that death. Pretty costly in terms of that experience. The BF sword has been completed by Lucas, so I think that's still the strong point. If you want, we're about to see a 2v2 in the mid lane. Yoshimaru does have the nether grasp there. It does come through, but Personified misses the body slam actually onto Yoshimaru, but Sunny Desu trying to do his best to get the kill here. The trades go through. The mid laners have both died, and it's Zero Armed versus Personified. Once again, the buffs on the side of Personified, but the ultimate almost back available for Zero Armed. The body slam under the tower, the flash from Personified, but the ultimate has come back up from Zero Armed. Onslaught of Shadows brought the onslaught onto the Gragas. Personified goes down. A nice attempt, but the buffs do go over.
Yeah, absolutely. Zero Armed going for a respectful Cinder Hulk build, and Haze and Dividends. Charismatic trying to beat down Acquiescence in the top lane, but it's getting more difficult, right? Acquiescence is healing more with each level that passes and getting difficult to bleed this tree dry. So we might actually see Acquiescence flip the script on Charismatic here in a little bit as that sapling runs out from the bush and nails the Darius. But yeah, very respectful build coming through from Zero Armed with the
Gets grabbed again.
Oh, well, maybe something more in the top lane. Just more extended trades there, but that Cinder Hulk, I think, might have saved Zero Armed in that last trade for sure. You know, from Personify, it's going to be kind of an aggressive Runic Echoes build there.
Yeah, going for a bit more damage. I think that's reasonably standard on Gragas. You do want some of that damage to be able to kind of blow people up when you do use that Predator in and body slam flash onto people. So don't think that's too bad in this game. You know, almost had that kill into the tower. Very nice idea, but unfortunately that ultimate came back for Zero Armed, you know, literally seconds before he needed it. So very well done by him. Good timing, knowing he could continue that fight. As we see a little bit of a reset now that Herald has been taken by the Coinflippers. They're in pretty good control of this game, although as I say that, we might see a bit of a dive. Cabby going very low. The Ignite is on him. Has the shield from the Dark Passage, however, and I believe he will be okay. But has to use both summoners. Does get himself out. Astral very low in exchange.
Yep, getting close on the Thresh, but close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. And this is League of Legends, Carl, so it doesn't count here. The Thresh is going to make it out of there. It's going to be a Storm Razor for I Miss the Old You first item. And speaking of first items, probably going to be an Essence Reader for Luca, kind of following right in line with last night's game. Liking that ER first pickup, despite not being as far ahead as he was last night. So maybe this is just a thing for Luca.
Yeah, it's certainly not. I mean, it's not like an int or anything to go for that. Essence River first. Unfortunately, did not have the gold to complete that item, so he will still be on components. A little bit less scary for himself. Has the AD, but no crit and no mana restore as well. We might be about to see a play in the mid lane. This could get very ugly very quickly for Sunny Desu. He's decided to back himself off. That Nether Grasp, you know, if you're ever in range, he's going to be going down almost immediately. There's a lot of follow-up here, as it is. Could be a catch here onto Acquiescence. The hook lands from Cabby as well. He's going to be going, and this is a fight on two fronts now. Nether Grasp goes down onto Sunny Desu. He's going to be finding himself in the death chamber before he's able to cast the supreme display of skill. It's a double kill now for Zero Armed, as he has taken out the top laner. Acquiescence just kind of wanders into his doom there. Not what he was hoping for, as this push is 5 men strong in the mid lane. Luca's down in the bot. This is a 5 versus 2.
Carl, we mentioned before this game. Oh, Personified might be in trouble here. Here's the curtain call.
Curtain call. The curtain has opened, and what a great hook from Cabby. All former sins have been, you know, purified off of himself. As they're onto the inhibitor turret, this is going down. They don't look like they're stopping anytime soon. You have to think this would be the inhibitor going down, although they may back off and just fall off to the dragon. Yep, will be that choice. I'm just a little bit too ham, I suppose, now. So they're going to be falling off to the dragon, but a 7,000 gold lead, a little bit more like 6,000 now for the Coinflippers.
I, too, am extremely aggressive at times, Carl. But yes, we mentioned before this game, it was the Coinflippers, the only team who were able to take down Boyz in the Hood in the regular season. And it is the Coinflippers here in game 2 of the semifinals, Carl, that are like, what, 5-6K gold ahead of the Boyz in the Hood right now? It's absolutely crazy. It's totally flipped the script on the Boyz in the Hood. It's a very different game from game 1. This game 2, I have to imagine we'll be going to a game 3, but the game's not over yet, Carl. There is very much game left to be played for sure. Got that second drag coming up here. It's a Cloud Dragon, which leaves us with either the Ocean Soul or the Infernal Soul two very hotly contested Dragon Souls, and it's going to be a shootout.
I believe that will be revealed to us very shortly. This dragon, not really contestable. Personify might walk over, but he's not going to get anywhere near a steal on this occasion. The red team has slain the dragon, going over to Coinflippers. The Inferno blazes, and we will have an Infernal map. And Coinflippers in full control of this game. Luca, you do not want to be there. Luca and Astral maybe trying to find a pick, but they might be the ones getting picked. This actually could be a nice play. The 3 versus 2, they are behind. This should work out for them. There's the Quatus coming through. No, miss by Personify, not working out for them in this situation. The teleport comes through as well as the Unsubtle Shadows going back onto the tower. Astral going to be finding himself in all sorts of trouble. He has a gray screen, now the kick, and there's the supreme display of talent from Sunny Days, who picking up the kill, but the Nethergrasp in the backline. The shutdown has gone over onto Charismatic. This fight's reasonably close, actually. Zero Armed having to get himself back. The Coinflippers not doing as well as they would have liked. Luca is just free hitting in this fight, picking up the kill. The shutdown onto Zero Arm, but the Malefic Vision's on his back doing so much work. Yoshi Miner now in a 1 versus 2, but is he really the one at a disadvantage here? The Malefic Vision's now spreading between the creeps. Watch out, that is very contagious. You're going to want to be careful of that one. Luca is just toying with his fate here. If he does catch those Malefic Visions, he certainly would be going down here, as Yoshi Miner has cleaned up the fight while losing it 4 for 3.
Yeah, if you're facing a Malzahar, kids, you're going to want to wear protection. By protection, I mean QSS. And it doesn't look like anybody on the Boyz that have picked up that item yet, so they might be in trouble if Yoshi Miner can get some serious lockdown onto the Boyz in the Hood. But it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, definitely not. So, gonna want to get that QSS. I would expect to see that actually almost immediately by Luca, you'd have to think here, but hasn't gotten that yet. He did get a lot of money in that fight, right? We got the one shutdown. I think I saw 800 gold go into his pocket and the other normal kill. So that's 1,100 gold for himself. He's gonna be working close or quickly toward that second item, I should say. So, very well done for him. He's more in that position that he's kind of used to in these fights as the main carry. But like we mentioned yesterday, that does make him that main target now. He's going to be who Yoshi Miner is looking for with that Nether Grasp now. So QSS now straight away bought by him, using his earnings from that fight to get that item. As I've rambled on long enough that we have another fight. Onslaught of Shadows coming through. Zero Arm just rips through Personify. He's going to be going down. There is Jin in the back line trying to open up the curtain, saying, I want to be part of this show. Acquiescence not long for this world. There is the shots coming through. The 4th shot from the curtain call. I miss the old you. Picking up that kill. 2, 1, and 3 now. And the kill's pretty evenly spread across Coinflippers as they fight for control back in this game.
Yep, and, they still do have some fairly commanding control with a 7k gold lead now. They've increased that gold lead, actually. With Yoshi Miner picking up this third in the bot lane, Sunny Desu might be in trouble. Running for their lives. And
I'm sure you want to turn around.
Maybe not running for their lives, but they are going to lose their lives there to Yoshi Miner, who is going to spread the space age very quickly, indeed. And
not what Sunny Desu was looking for when he went in for that fight. That's the second time this game he's tried to go in for that kill and not been able to pick it up. So not what he was hoping for on the Kiana. Just, one of those picks that it's kind of either zero or hero. And in this game, looking like a little bit more of that zero selection for him. But can still have a lot of teamfight impact. You get a multi-man stun. You can even do it kind of randomly. You just happen to hit the wall. People are standing by it and could pick up a lot of damage for himself. So him and Luca looking to get that damage up. But they are mostly AD also. So we have seen the Ninja Tabby coming through for I Miss the Old You, trying to keep himself safe. A lot of auto attacks, a lot of AD damage coming through. For Boyz in the Hood, something to watch out for as well.
Yep, definitely a little bit of a defensive boot pickup there, but like you mentioned, they have picked up the Rift Herald, the Coinflippers have. That'll be important if they're going to start breaking open the base, and they should be looking to break open the base. They have all the outer turrets now, it's just inner turrets in the side lanes and no turrets in the mid lane, so pick up an inhib. Acquiescence might be in trouble. Zero Arm got them out.
Little bit aggressive by the Hecarim going out of the full tank.
Yeah, aggressive indeed, but they actually picked up a BF sword, Zero Arm did, on top of their Trinity Force. There's a lot of gold on his Hecarim. Let's check how much gold. 9,200.
He's 3,000 gold ahead of Personify.
Yep. Over 3,000. That's a lot of gold, Carl.
That's true.
That's Triforce BF sword gold.
See him go. Oh my god, the damage onto Sunny Desu. The Onslaught of Shadows actually goes a little bit too far, but it does not matter. The Kiana going to go back to a gray screen here has fallen. That's just a very scary Hecarim. You know, how far back do you need to stand against this horse?
I'm not really sure, especially if he completes this Infinity Edge or whatever he's building, but
probably a GA is what I would be gambling on. As we see in the top lane, Acquiescence has to flash away from the Malefic Visions, and he is taken out anyway. That is just too contagious for him. He's falling down. No social distancing on this front. That's what happens to you if you do get infected. He's going to be finding himself in the Death Chamber, and the Herald's onto the Nexus Tower. We have one Nexus Tower going down. Here is the re-engagement. The quickness comes through from Astros. We might see a game defensive fight here. The flash forward, though, from Charismatic trying to get the kill, and he does pick it up onto Luca Cabby now with another hook. The curtain call has opened up. This show is open, and it is dangerous. Astro, the only one left alive, as this could end the game here. All of a sudden, the fight in desperation to end the game might end the game itself, as Astral is the only one left alive here. And Coinflippers, you know, this game was looking a bit slow just a couple of minutes ago, turned absolutely on its head. Coinflippers are now moving in here, and they will pick up the game, doing very well for themselves as it is over here, just 20 minutes in.
Yep, and Cabby padding those hook stats, trying to get a couple more hooks than Astral there at the end, landing one on Acquiescence. Very well done, Cabby. I appreciate the efforts. I truly do. But yeah, it's the Coinflippers taking game 2 here. One game apiece for these teams. We're going to game 3, Carl.
Yeah, absolutely. Should be an exciting time. Just a very abrupt end of the game. You know, Hecarim getting that pick out onto Sunny Desu, and that led to that fight. We saw kind of a forced fight in the base. Boyz in the Hood trying to defend their base, and it did just lead to their doom. But a very clean game by Coinflippers. They knew what they wanted to do going into this one. They didn't get smashed in the bot lane, and they just kind of popped off in the jungle.
They certainly did, and there was some signs of life from Boyz in the Hood. There was a couple impressive displays of skill. I think that's the name of the ability, but something to that effect. Supreme display of skill, of course. How could I have been so ignorant? But yeah, there's a couple of good ones in there, but you know, there's just a couple times where there was just a little bit more damage that Sunny Desu needed to really be able to pull it off. And I think probably the most surprising part for me was that Jin's name. I need to look. I missed the old U. And Cabby were able to pull off that level 2 fight there. That was crazy. I didn't think they'd be able to pick that up, but definitely a good look there in game 2.
Yeah, they did have that, you know, that push in the lane. They were able to keep themselves safe. So very well done by them. We'll see if they are able to replicate that in game 3, which is coming up in just a couple of minutes. We're going to go to one more very brief break here as we get set for the third game. But the rubber match is coming up in just a couple of minutes. Don't touch that browser. Style Esports will be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to the semifinals here. Style Esports Season 2 playoffs. It is Game 3. This is it. This is for all the marbles. It's the Coinflippers versus Boyz in the Hood. I am Jarl Carl, joined by Axeman. This is the last game of the series. It's got to be hype.
Yeah, I could not be more hype right now, Carl. I am very hyped indeed. I've got the popcorn, I've got the water, I'm all ready to go. These bans are looking very similar to the first two games already, Carl. And actually, Hecarim ban coming through from Boyz in the Hood, not appreciating Zero Arm's pick there. Maybe forcing him back onto the Lee Sin, but we will have to see if that rears its head again as the picks continue.
Yeah, we'll see. A little bit of a switch up already. We got the Kayn. I think for me, the big question is whether we'll see that Maokai coming back out for Acquiescence. He's played it in 2 games. A lot of success in the first game. Arguably less success, I think we could all agree on, in that second game. As it looks like we might actually get a little bit of a delay here on the top lane pick, as we're hovering that Lucian is still up for Luca. Did pretty well in the last game. You know, no level 2 kill, which is kind of what we've been coming to expect out of this bot lane, but did very well for himself in the last game, picked up some kills in some teamfights, had a lot of impact, just wasn't quite enough to win the game for the Boyz in the Hood, but locked in once more. We'll see what we can see at level 2. Maybe if we don't say anything, we'll see those fights again.
Yep, for sure. If we just don't look at them, they'll get a double kill and win the game in 20 minutes. So we're just not going to look at them, and maybe they'll have a good game here. But who knows? To be honest, I'm still holding out for no Thresh pick. I'm getting excited for that. It's going to be Wukong for Boyz in the Hood so far, and that
maybe not.
Actually failed there. Looks like somebody left the lobby.
He's back.
I'm thinking maybe that Wukong pick wasn't the intended pick there. So we are going to try and restart the draft here. Didn't get too far into it, so it shouldn't be too bad. But, you know, I'm sure we'll have to do this 3 or 4 times now. But that's normally how it goes anyway.
Yeah, there's a little bit of banter going on in the chat. Not too sure what the plan is, but we'll be ready whenever they finally get going back into it. We did see a couple of picks come through. The Lucian was picked up for Boyz in the Hood before maybe a Wukong. We'll see what's going on with that, but that was against the Kayn, I believe, on the side of Coinflippers, going somewhat crazy this late at night, but I believe it was Kayn. We will see. They should be zooming through these first couple of bans. Don't expect them to be changing too much. That would be somewhat against the rules, so hopefully the rules stay in check and we don't have any more bans, knock on wood, everybody, which I'm currently doing. So we will be moving through these bans. Not really sure what Acquiescence is thinking about. You don't have a lot of choice, sir. You already banned him. He's getting it down, though.
Just trying to remember what they banned.
Yeah, everyone's like, wait, what do we ban?
Ban is coming through. We'll just dictate the bans to them. I'm pretty sure, oh god. Carl, I can't remember what they banned either. Oh no.
They can't either, evidently.
I think it was
They did ban Hecarim at some point.
That was definitely
and something else.
There.
Yeah, not Jhin. Who knows? I think it was a Bard on the other side. So, Charismatic. Oh, the Veigar, that looks familiar.
Veigar.
I'll go along with that.
That does make sense.
Yeah, we're all very informed.
Said Kale. Don't think there was a Kale.
That was from earlier.
Okay.
We're discussing toppings for popcorn, I believe. So
Kale. Someone said Kale. All right.
Well, I think we were trying to be healthy. I'm not sure. Anyway, a lot of vitamins in kale. Yeah, get your dark leafy greens. Very important. A lot of vitamins, a lot of nutrients in there. Not any calories anyway. So definitely a nutrient-dense food. But moving on from your daily nutrition advice with Jarl Carl, gonna be seeing the last band come through. It is the horse, of course, and we have another dodge.
Yep. And this time it's Astral not making it into the draft. If I had to guess, we're going to see at least 3 more of these before we get the draft right. That's normally how it goes, but I'm thinking maybe 2, 3
We're building the suspense.
All right.
Definitely.
Turns out we had a VPN die, so rest in peace to them. Hopefully we have a funeral. We'll be sending out invitations shortly. We'll get back into this draft.
Astral's back in the lobby, so there is some hope. We'll see if everybody can remember the bands for the second time around here. We're just bantering. We're bantering and we're not starting. So we are back into Champion Select. I'm very pleased to announce we apparently did not knock enough on that wood earlier. But the bans are starting to roll through. Echo, that first one. X-Men, what's the first ban here?
It's going to be Shen, and then Vigar, and then Hecarim, and Echo, and Zoe. And
Bard.
Bard, yeah, I think Bard sounds right. Bard can get banned.
It is right. But he can get banned for all I care. That's a little bit too much tempered fate. Don't tempt fate. It's right in the name. Don't want to do that. So he's getting banned out. We're saying we don't want to do that around here. And we'll see if Charismatic can remember to pick Kayn. I believe that was the pick. I believe the picks will stand. So who knows? Maybe we'll just continually dodge at this point. But he's thinking about it. Has selected the Kayle. Should see that Lucian. And then we will potentially see a Wukong. We're going to find out whether that was for real or whether the Wukong pick by Personify caused Luca's client to crash. So he's thinking about the Lucian. You got to pick that, sir. Just lock it in.
Yep.
In the end. And now we are back in business, folks. Back in the real draft here. I'm interested about the Kayn, actually. A nice little adaptation. Lee Sin decided not to go for that. Wasn't too impressed by his performance, evidently, with that. In the first game, going for the Kayn, a little bit more versatility. Can go for that Shadow Assassin or that Rost form, a bit more tanky and healing on that one. As it is the Olaf by Personify, one of my favorite champions.
Yeah, for sure. And actually, Carl, I am staring into the void at the moment. The void is telling me to dodge, but I am resisting the urge. Hopefully everyone else resists the urge as well. It is going to be an Olaf here up against this Kayn. And you're right, Kayn is an adaptable champion, but it's almost like the adaptability, the onus for it is on the enemy team, right? At this point, you could just pick all ranged champions, and then Charismatic would have to go blue Kayn. So that is an option for sure for Boyz in the Hood, but probably something that's going to be difficult for them. And then here is a draft dodge number 3, this time from the Coinflippers. So we'll have to see how this one goes. Yoshi Miner says, sorry, our jungler trolled. Not sure what that means, but maybe the Kayn pick wasn't supposed to come through. Who knows? We'll see how it goes for draft the 4th, I believe.
Yeah, draft number 4. We're gonna just we're gonna be hanging out here all night. You know, I've never liked the look of the lobby so much in my life. As we're back in the draft here, number 4 coming through. See if those bans remain the same. And we've got a few more picks to analyze. So we're just going to be going through here, you know, pick by pick. We got one pick, we got one dodge at a time coming through here. So we should be getting through it. We're just building the suspense. I mean, this game better deliver, right? I mean, I want to see a lot of kills. I want to see a barn burner here, or, you know, we're going to have spent longer in the lobby than we did in the game.
Yeah, for sure. So it's going to be Shen, Vigar, and Hecarim, Echo, Zoe, Bard, Kayn, Lucian, and then where are we going from there? I think there was a Wukong, wasn't there? There was
that was the first time.
So
not the fourth time.
Was traded.
We've
for
advanced.
We have advanced. I can't remember what zero-armed pick. I think they might have picked the wrong thing, and that's why we restarted. But
who knows?
Not me.
One day we will have champions, and they will be on Summoner's Rift, and they will do battle. And it will be very exciting. The Olaf has come through. I'm very excited about the Olaf. Let's just talk about the picks we know. You know, Olaf coming through. Very strong early game control. We've seen it have a lot of success. I believe a Kaisa will be coming through if that was not just a fake pick on that front. So an interesting adaptation in the bot lane. But the Olaf, a lot of early game potential, able to just kind of run people down. And the Kayn, even if he's going Rost, he doesn't really have a lot of knockups when you're getting Ragnarok on. And he's just going to kind of axe at him. It's in your name. You got to be a fan. Throwing those undertows and taking out the champs.
Yeah, for sure. Looks like it's going to be Jhin for I Miss the Old You. They did like that pick. We'll have to see if the Thresh comes back again. I hope not, but hey, it could happen.
Oh my goodness.
Cabby didn't do too bad, so it could be a good pick for them. But Silas coming through.
Has been banned previously, so now available and picked up.
Yep, this could be a good one. That might go through for either solo laner. Probably, I would guess Charismatic, but you know, either one would work. And it's going to be Rise for Sunny Desu. Unless it's for Acquiescence. Rise, a notable flex pick. Not too much top lane anymore, I don't think, but could be wrong about that one. Don't see Rise too much anymore. And we'll see what gets banned in the second round of bans here.
Hopefully we do not have to memorize this set as the Mordekaiser comes through. I'm a little surprised to see that, actually. I would have thought the Silas would be that top laner. That's more of the position I think we've been seeing him in a little bit more recently, but could, of course, be in the mid for Yoshi Miner as well. We might see some interesting little mind games with this Silas versus Rise, the double flex pick. Who's fighting who wants that matchup, who doesn't. As the Maokai been banned out, apparently both of these teams think these mages are going to be going in the mid lane. So we'll see how that works out. And, the bans could even influence that decision to flex it up. Hey, you banned out our top laners. Let's just put this guy in the top lane and pick a mid lane champion from an untouched pool. Definitely some pick and ban strategy here, as a couple more seconds before the final ban comes through from Boyz in the Hood. It will be that Nautilus saying, Cabby, we don't want to see a resurgence.
Gotcha. So it'll be no Nautilus for Cabby this game, almost forcing him onto the Thresh pick here. So we might see Cabby running back that Thresh pick in the Ornn ban. Hey, at least it made it into the draft, right, Carl?
True. Nobody picks Ornn anymore. Feels bad.
Yep, feels super bad. Every one of you is boosted for not picking it. Gonna go ahead and said that live on air. I've tried to kind of hint at it before in previous broadcasts, but no one seems to be taking the hint. So it is going to be a set pick coming through. Might go to Astral in my mind, but could be a top laner as well. If
He's
they
picking.
lock it in.
Thinking who?
All right, we made it, everybody.
It's been
boy.
locked in.
3 more picks, and then we can load in. Maybe.
We can do it. We're just not going to talk about it. Anyway, Set in the top lane, we would have to think here. I do like Set support. Set Callisto, one of my favorite lanes to play at the moment, but likely would be in the top lane. It's kind of a little bit more of a practice necessary matchup. And the Darius coming through for Charismatic. We might see some popping off in the top lane, or not, but, he'll definitely be trying to pop off. Set a little bit harder to hit than the Maokai. Set tends to hit back a little bit harder than does the tree. You're fighting a guy that does sit-ups for a living instead of just a tree, so kind of take your pick on that one. Couple more picks to come through. Should be the support here for Cabby.
Oh my.
The Lulu hover. That's a little bit interesting to my mind. Not as good with Jhin as it is with a lot of other auto attackers. You can't use picks to the fullest potential just with that slow attack speed for Jhin. So we'll be there, though, to keep that Darius and Silas alive. Definitely do not envy the team of Boyz into Hood trying to take down these tanks, especially with Lulu on top. That's a lot of shielding and could do a lot of damage.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be difficult to kill Juggernaut. Darius will be, and we'll see.
Kali
come through.
So we'll be set support.
Set support,
all right.
Yeah. All right. Or maybe not. Or maybe Rise support. Or maybe...
Set support. There we go.
Support. Okay.
I think we're good. I think we've made it. Anybody?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, there are still 41 seconds left for either of these teams to dodge, but I want all of you to know I'll be quitting on the spot if that does happen. So, let's just wanted to get that off my chest right now before it happens. Inevitably, it will happen.
30 seconds. We
30
can do
seconds.
it. Anyway, got some assassins coming through. Sunny Desu didn't work out so well for him in the last game with the assassin, but he's saying, hey, maybe it was just the damage type. I was going physical damage last game. We're going magic damage on the side of this one. Up against Silas, though. Not a champion that takes too kindly to being assassinated. I think we've all had those Silases in our solo queue games. We gank him. We're going, hey, we're going to kill this guy. And then suddenly he's full health with that W coming through. So definitely can flip the script on you in quite a big way with that heal. So something to watch out for. And I am pleased to announce, everybody, that we have made it to Spectator Delay. These champions are loading out of the Rift. We've done it.
We did it. All right, moment of silence for all that time we lost. And we're back. Okay, it's going to be about 3 minutes before we get into game here. And, yeah, some pretty solid teams I'm looking at. You're right, Sunny Desu back on the magic damage, kind of repeating that Fizz gameplay from game 1. Fizz was still up, so they could have run back the Fizz, but elected for the Akali instead. Probably still a very solid pick. I think. Kind of depends on the player, as do most champions, but we've seen a lot of assassins tonight from Sunny Desu, so I think he's probably pretty good with this assassin, especially since it isn't physical damage. That Kiano is pretty rough, but yeah, up against Silas, difficult to assassinate. Like you were saying, that doesn't play very well into the 2v2 either, right? I mean, the Akali only has an Olaf with her, so While that is a lot of burst damage, there's going to be a lot of burst coming through from the Coinflippers too, but still more healing, right? So it's going to be an interesting 2v2 here, and we haven't really talked about it. We said we weren't going to, but this level 2 engage down the bot lane could be especially volatile, right? I mean, you still have the Lucian, you still have the Jhin, but this time you have Set, who's doing arguably more damage than any of the supports we've seen tonight, and Lulu, who is doing a lot more to kind of diffuse fights than most of the champions we've seen tonight. So could be interesting down the bot lane for sure.
Also a lot squishier, though, that Lulu. So she can find herself in all sorts of trouble in a very alacritous fashion if the Set does get on top of her. So something to watch out for in the bot lane. And another game where healing reduction, I think, will be key for these teams, especially for Boyz into Hood against, Silas heals. Jhin will have Bloodline. He heals for a lot. Kane, if he goes for that Rost form, a ton of healing. Darius with a Q as well. So a lot of prime targets for Grievous Wounds in this game that hopefully will be capitalized on by Boyz into Hood. Very important. It's only an $800 investment for that Executioner's calling for Lucian and Olaf here. So hope to see them go with that itemization selection, but we'll see what they do decide to go for. I mean, sometimes you don't want to go for it, and you do end up paying the price when Silas heals to full health.
Yeah, you definitely do. And what form do you think Kane's going for here? I mean, I think Rost is probably generally accepted as the more powerful one, but there are some assassination targets and not really anyone filling that role of assassin on his team, so he probably could go Blue Cane if he wanted to. He would have some difficulty with Personify and Acquiescence, though, for sure.
I don't even know if you need to have an assassin on the side of Coinflippers here. They do have kind of a team fight, kind of draw out the fight. We have shields. We got a lot of healing coming through. I don't know if you need an assassin really to be going in, and Ross will just add to that front line, right? You're against a Lucian who's not the greatest tank shredder. Building Blade of the Ruin King is basically Lucian's only tank shred. That's all he can do, essentially, until he does get to that last Whisper item. And so I think having a very strong front line, Darius, Silas, Kane, and a Lulu shielding them all up will go miles, in my mind, to stopping this team fight from Boyz into Hood.
Right, you are, Carl. And we are loaded onto Summoner's Rift. Let's see what these champions have been up to. All right.
Getting into game 3. Let's get onto the Rift here. Everybody stuck on the base for those 15 seconds, but we have finally arrived on the Rift. Another very short load. Thank you to everybody who is not awake at 1 in the morning to 10 in the evening, depending on what time zone you are in here. If you are watching from the United States, if you're watching in Europe, good morning, I guess. Maybe you just got up and we're stunned to see us still here, but we are still here. Indeed, and you tuned in at a good time. This is the rubber match. Game number 3 here between Coinflippers and Boyz into Hood, looking for a spot in the grand finals for a share of the $200 prize pool. So a lot is on the line here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of a slower early game, just teams not wanting to make any mistakes.
Yep, for sure. And Undertow is going to land onto Yoshiminer there, getting a little bit of damage off. Onto the Silas early, getting the game started early. It's going to be Omnistone here for the
Cabby. Ooh. Could have been dangerous, but he's fine. He's walking out.
Definitely could have been. It looks like Boyz in the Hood are trying to make something happen here in this pixel bush. Well,
they're looking to make it happen. Late, not spotted, actually. This could be a big fight.
Gank.
This could be genius, actually, by them. If they're able to get in this bush quickly, they might even just wait for the bot lane to rotate. Here they go. Astral has come in. I missed the old U. Is going to see it now. Undertow not going to land the first one. There's a flash forward from Astral, and this is going to be a big fight in the bot lane. Cabby going to go down immediately. Astral has picked up the kill. The Undertow is continuing to roll through. The flashes have been burned. Actually, only 1-0. I'm going to go back in. Maybe not the selection he wanted on that one, but the flash used by Cabby, and he goes down. And the aggression in the bot lane, I think it's an all-time record for early aggression. The flash from Astral picking up the kill.
Yep, red buff is still available.
Goes forward. Oh, the smite gets it down to 15 HP. Zero armed. So unfortunate. Not able to get to level 2. He goes down. Personify gets the smite, gets the red buff, and the kill going over to himself, starting up level 2 with a kill in his pocket. That's a very scary Olaf at, 2 minutes into the game.
Yeah, just like that, Boyz in the Hood are 1K, even more so. Gold ahead of the Coinflippers, not a good start if you're the Coinflippers whatsoever, but I don't think we actually mentioned we were loading in, but it's going to be a bit of a lane swap here, actually. It's Sunny Desu up in the top lane, and Acquiescence in the mid lane with a Rise, but both Boyz in the Hood solo laners seem to be having some issues in their solo lane. Sunny Desu getting especially low. Charismatic going low as well.
Oh, the flash! Oh, he misses the Q! Sunny Desu, but he still picks up the kill on the Charismatic, ticking very low. He is going to survive, it looks like, in the top lane. Missed one of those Qs, but he was able to get into the Twilight Shroud and keep himself alive. Very close fight up in the top lane. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, you'll be shocked to know, but they're fighting 3 minutes in at level 2 here once again. No kills going over this time, but a lot of damage traded onto Cabby.
Yeah, and I think probably the adaptation to the Jhin from I Miss the Old You will go down in history no matter which way the series goes as being one of the better adaptations in the playoffs. I mean, the pick has just done so much for them, right? And it literally is just these level 2 invades. It's so much harder for Luca to really just run into I Miss the Old You with Force Shot, right? I mean, it's so much damage. You can't run into that. You just want to stay on the outside of the range and wait for him to use it on a minion and then try to play around it, right? But that threat is always there, and it's really preventing them from hard engaging.
Yeah, definitely a very, very strong pick into the, kind of realizing what the bot lane of Boyz in the Hood wanted to achieve and then countering it. So we might see a fight here, but Zero Armed has arrived as well. There's a dash forward on a Cabby. He's going very low. The flash from Luca going to pick up the kill, but he's going to be paying the price. That fourth shot that we mentioned coming through from I Miss the Old You, the slow onto Astral as well from Zero Armed. He's going to find himself taken out as well. It's a double kill going over to the jungler as we see a fight also in the jungle. Personify going very low, tries to get the Scuttle Crab, but he just kind of dies. Doesn't have the smite for health and wasn't able to commit to the flash over the wall, so he's taken out, and all of a sudden 3 kills go in the way of Coinflippers. Little fight in the top also. Yeah. There's just fighting non-stop here. Sunny Desu trying to get himself out. Charismatic, who's catching who as we continue once again into the mid lane. This is, not a slow game at all. I just caster curse all over the place here. Acquiescence getting himself out with the phase rush, dodging away from the stun, as it looks like we have a couple of seconds to break that all down.
Yeah, for sure. A little bit of a break in the action fighting across the map, but Sunny Desu is doing so well up in the top lane despite being down in both CS and experience to kind of keep up with Charismatic's Darius. Looking a lot better than the Acquiescence Maokai in game 2, right? So I think even if they lag behind a little bit here, and even now they're catching up in CS and experience too with that Darius having backed, I think they'll be a lot better off than the Maokai pick. So already looking much, much better than the game 2 performance there. That first dragon is up. A mountain drag. So no mountain soul this go around, but neither team looking too interested in it just yet. Zero Arms up in the top side of the map, as is Personify looking for some more CS. But as the junglers progress, it's Personify that's already gotten that back in. Zero Armed to actually stay down the jungle for most of this. You'll recall he actually did get killed for that first blood kill. So he, normally we would say, oh, well, he must be behind. He's actually ahead in experience and CS here. So looking fairly good on the Kayn. A champion normally regarded as being weak early is now ahead of the Olaf, normally regarded as being an early game champion. That said, Personify is taking this dragon now. But Yoshi Minor
response to it though, Luca could find himself in trouble as well. Dodges away from that W, but this has become not a very clear fight at all. Personify only level 4. Acquiescence has arrived. There's the hijack on the Ragnarok, so Personify could find himself in a lot of trouble here. He's going to be taken out immediately. Yoshi Minor going to pick up that kill on Personify as Luca now going to be caught out. He uses the heal to try to get himself out, but it's not going to be enough. It doesn't look like it. There's the ultimate pop to try to get Luca out. Yes, it is. Realm Warp used by the Rise, but the dragon goes over to Coinflippers as they are able to pick that up, essentially just leashed by Personify. Not quite safe enough and not a fast enough response by Acquiescence. Yoshi Minor getting there first.
Yep, they definitely do, but Astral flashing on Yoshi Minor. Doing lots of true damage, but Yoshi Minor has a lot of heals up their sleeve. Looks like they can make it out here. Zero Arms in the area.
This could go back, get turned back around. Silas excels at this kind of activity, and he picks up the kill.
There it is.
Wilson's down on a killing spree. The Haymaker not quite available for Astral. He goes down as well. Zero Armed has picked this up, and in the last 2 minutes, this game has just turned on its head. So we see a little bit more fighting in the mid lane. Undertow's coming through. Yoshimata wants to even go back in. Gonna get the heal for himself. Personify trying to get himself to safety. Going very low. The teleport has been channeled as well by Acquiescence, as this game is just wild. I wanted a barn burner. We are in the midst of one. You have to feel at this point. Ultimate used in the top lane by Sunny Desu onto Charismatic. Can he get the execution? It could be perfect. It might not be on this one. Charismatic trying to trade back. Does he have the ultimate? Noxian Guillotine is available. And he picks up the flipping the script once again. Sunny Desu finds himself in the death chamber. He's scratching his head.
Wow, I wasn't expecting that one at all. It just got dunked on, man. That was insane. I really thought Sunny Desu had that one, but super close, right? I mean, almost had it there. Super tragic. Now it's Acquiescence looking for the kill in the top lane.
The teleport has come in as well. Yoshimaru's everywhere on the map, saving his team time and time again, and Charismatic just doesn't take any damage. Yoshimaru's arriving on the scene. Acquiescence going to get stunned up. Charismatic there, swinging the axe in his face. Yoshimaru on a rampage now. He's flashing the mastery. Charismatic saying, "You can't kill me. I got a friend in my back pocket." A great use of that teleport by Yoshimaru. He's 4-0-1 now, and this Silas is just popping off. I think we can see why it was banned earlier in the series.
Yep, the Coinflippers have totally flipped this game back on its head. 2K gold lead, where before they were at a 2K gold deficit. Coinflippers looking very good right now. Next Dragon, 3 minutes. Rift Herald is up. Could be taken right now. Coinflippers really do have the priority from the top side of the map. They just need Charismatic to seal the deal. And Zero Armed is just finishing blue. That might be where they're headed next.
2-level lead now. Actually, tell a lie. Not sure why I saw Personify being level 4. I don't know what I was looking at, but nobody level 4 in this game. So no level lead in the jungle, but definitely still even. And when we talk about him being down early, Zero Armed, he got that solo kill at the Scuttle Crab in the bot side and has made quite a nice recovery in this lane. Sunny Desu now trying to fight, but Zero Armed is here. Sunny Desu not sure how he's going to get himself to safety. Does have the ultimate and his flash, so he might be able to get himself out with that one. Can he get ult 2? Uses that out, but Kane was there in time to pop the Umbral Trespass and follow him through that perfect execution, and it turned out it was his own execution that he found.
Yep, for sure. And I think something we haven't really mentioned, the Boys in the Hood, is that Olaf is a great pick, right? I mean, it's super good, has a lot of damage, and has some self-setup, right, with the Undertow, but it only goes so far. You kind of need something coming from the lanes, and both his solo lanes don't have great setup for him, right? And you have Acquiescence who can root for a little bit of time there, but he's rooting Yoshiminer on Silas, right? Who is so difficult to gank. So it's almost like Personify is this great weapon with just nowhere to go with his abilities. He can go for epic monsters, but only if he has lane priority, and he's just not getting it right now. So you have this very strong jungler right now. You could probably 1v1 most of the champions on the map right now, and he just can't, right? He doesn't have the support for it. So an unfortunate situation for the Olaf indeed.
Yeah, he's a super strong weapon with no ammo, essentially, at this point. He just doesn't have any, anything to fight at. He's like grasping at straws to try to get fights. We see Astral now in the mid lane, but Yoshimaru's just so strong. Like, I don't even know who you want in this fight. He's just going to use the ult onto Set and get himself to safety. The teleport coming through. Charismatic's arriving. The stun did miss the Set ult. The real one back. That's a triple pull now by Charismatic. Who's catching who? The flash away from Charismatic. This fight going reasonably well. 4 Boys in the Hood so far, Yoshimaru, but watch out for that healing. He's able to try to get himself out. Can he get the stun? Back in exchange, the flash, Wild Growth coming through. Will he be able to get enough healing? He goes very low, but he is going to pop himself back up healthier. The culling going to come through. Sunny Desu following through with the perfect execution onto Charismatic, but he's going very low in exchange. He's going to be taken out once again. Charismatic just getting the best of these very close duels in the top. Between the top laners, I should say. And now Rost, I believe, has arrived on the scene. Cabby is here. There's the knockup onto Luca Zero. I'm not going to follow through. Acquiescence firing in with those Rise abilities. But another wild fight that leads to a couple kills on each side.
Yep, for sure. And as you mentioned, Zero Armed has elected to take Rost. Probably a pretty good move. That said, he doesn't have the Immolate passive, which I think would probably be pretty solid with Rost. Instead, electing to take the Warrior Enchant. So, he's going to be doing a little bit of more damage for sure. As we say that, Zero Armed is looking for Personify. Might be able to pick up the kill, actually, as this game is doing so much damage.
The Deadly Flourish coming through as well, but Sunny Desu has now teleported in. I miss the old you. Maybe not where he quite wants to be, but he has Charismatic in his back pocket coming through with the axes. Zero Armed also a little bit caught out, still trying to keep himself alive with that Rost, and there is the Lulu to try to keep him healthy as well. Astral deciding maybe this was not the greatest endeavor. He's going to be backing himself off, and Yoshi Miner decides not to chase. He peels back to the Dragon. This should be Dragon number 2 of the game, going over to Coinflippers. Remember, they basically stole that first one right out from Personify's nose. That's a nice Dragon lead they have going. That would be a 22-minute soul if they keep this pace up.
Yep, for sure, and that's blazing fast, right, Carl? Pretty nuts here. Got both dragons, like you mentioned, and actually at this point, 3K gold lead. It's just so huge right now. Now there are some late game options here for the Boyz in the Hood, but really it's just Acquiescence who hasn't completed an item yet. So that's a long way off.
It's
right?
gonna be a while.
It's gonna be a while. We might be here a couple more hours before that happens. So at this point, I'm not even sure Rise is like a win condition for them, which leaves Rise in a strange position. Sunny Desu also in a strange position.
Astral, I'm not sure who wins this fight. Sunny Desu, he can find himself in an Noxian Guillotine very shortly here. Haymaker, Charismatic trying to get himself a bit of a heal, dodges away from the true damage, just not really able to actually find the appropriate target. No flash available. Tries to cast that ability. That could have gone south real quick, actually, for Boyz into Hood. But it works out for him, getting a kill back. Charismatic taken out in the top lane. A nice shutdown going over to Set. Is the support, but you'll take it wherever you can get it at this point.
Yeah, you definitely will, for sure. But, yeah. Things kind of falling apart there for Charismatic in the top lane, but I miss the old you and Zero Arm. They're here to make things right. The Kane is out for blood, but Ragnarok is procced.
Humble Trespass has come through. Redemption down as well. He might be able to get himself out. Zero Arm. The knock always just going to be going in for a bit more, able to get the kill on a Personify. Personify not having the game he was dreaming of on the Olaf. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Yoshi Miner is just kind of taking apart the turrets at this point. The inner turret has gone down, so junglers traded and a tower in the bot lane for Coinflippers. Not maybe what they were hoping for with Zero Armed, but it still works out in the end. They're just too far ahead.
Yep, and Sunny Desu should be completing a Gunblade if they take the reset here, and that'll be a fairly big spike for them. And I think actually not a whole lot of gold there on Luca, so they won't be picking up too much there. But oh, actually does get Executioner's Calling. Okay, that's going to help him a lot. It's a good pickup for sure. It's got that healing reduction, right? And notably as well, I miss the old you has one too. So a lot of healing reduction coming out from the ADCs, but it is going to be just a Vampiric Scepter, not able to complete the Gunblade from Sunny Desu. That's a shame. They're going to have to get some more gold before they can pick that one up. I missed the old you. Might be getting the tower here. Isn't quite able to pick that one up. That's another unfortunate one there. And there's no epic monsters on the map, so both teams kind of looking for something to fight over. Normally, you'd kind of go for the old ARAM, but looks like both teams trying to avoid that situation. Do have Rise in the side lane. That'll be good. Unfortunately, I don't think Acquiescence is at the point where they can really be alone in the side lane without his team pushing other objectives, because at this point, Zero Arm's just going to come and get him, right? And that looks to be what's happening right now.
Walking in for the Scuttle Crab, we have fallen into a little bit of a farming pattern, a little bit unfortunate for I Miss the Old You. Not able to take the tower in the top lane. A stiff breeze could knock that over. At this point, as we have an interesting situation, not sure how Zero Arm found himself in this place. Ragnarok has been popped. Sunny Desu is there. Yoshi Miner has responded as well. Charismatic walking over. Meanwhile, on the top lane, I Miss the Old You has to flash away from this one, but Cabby has arrived on the scene, so the 2v2 is now in full force. Looks like that will peter out. Back to the bot lane now. Yoshi Miner going to miss the stun, as it looks like all these fights just kind of dissipate at this point. No epic monsters, like you said, so nothing really keeping these champions together here, although I Miss the Old You might want to fight here, although Cabby has kind of wandered off, so everybody says, nah, we'll take a break. We'll be back for that dragon and that herald, which has now spawned. But for now, we're just going to go clear these waves and put a few purchases in.
Yep, Personify at some point in the last few minutes picking up Warrior in chat. I saw an Olaf build Cinderhulk earlier, and I wept manly tears, Carl. You can't build Cinderhulk. Come on, build the Warrior in chat. Build it. And he has indeed doing already so much more damage than he was earlier. Personifying Zero Arm kind of on a level playing field at the moment. There's a couple different factors. Oh, acquiescence. That is not a champion you can fight, sir.
The flash is for, he's so slow. That slow coming through.
Oh.
Guillotine. Acquiescence. He's going back to the French Revolution. Going to be taken out of this one. Yoshimatter in the mid lane has hijacked the Ragnarok. So we might see multiple unstoppable champions here in this fight. As the dragon is now up, we see Coinflippers picking up the Herald. I would expect them to pick that up and then rotate down to the Dragon to try to continue their Dragon Snowball, as that is a very important part of their team. Don't think they'll be wanting to give this one up, as Charismatic is the guardian of the Dragon. No Noxian Guillotine available yet. Multiple Ragnaroks have come through as everybody just kind of walks away from this one, but that will benefit the Coinflippers as that Dragon is still up for the taking.
Yeah, it definitely is. Both teams vying for it at this point, but the Boyz in the Hood just don't have the numbers here for it yet. Coinflippers could rush this down. They got to be quick about it, though, because the Boyz in the Hood are in the area. They're moving in. Could be a Dragon Steal.
Personify throws the axe. Actually, quite a good attempt, but he is going to be not successful on that. Taken out. Yoshimatter picking up the kill. Double the kills now for the Coinflippers, but still more than a kill a minute. So we are getting that barn burner coming through here, but it is in the favor of the Coinflippers. You have to feel so far. The Herald in the mid lane. This is a 5-man strong push in the mid against just 3. So this turret not long for Summoner's Rift. We'll see if they will continue to push with it. Not a ton of value from that Herald thus far. That turret would have fallen. You have to think otherwise, even without, or the tower would have fallen even without the Herald. So we do get a second charge off by Shelly in the mid lane. Yoshimatter backing himself off to safety, as it looks like they still want to push. The flash going to miss from Astro. No crowd control given over, as it looks like Coinflippers a little bit spooked, but they do want to be going back in. The curtain call has gone down. Sunny Desu now all the way into the backline. I miss the old you. He can find himself in all sorts of trouble. Luca is on a killing spree now, as I miss the old you has gone down. Yoshimatter as well. There is the Realm Warp trying to transport a few champions forward, but they may be transporting themselves straight into their doom. Charismatic has been slain by Acquiescence. Zero Arm not going to be able to get himself out to safety, or is he? Through the wall. The flash as well from Personify to pick up the kill onto Zero Armed, as the Boyz in the Hood flip that fight right on its head, picking up 4 kills. Could be 5 now. Cabby trying to run for his life. Will he have the squirrelification available in time? Does not have the polymorph, and he goes down. It's an ace across the map, 5 for 1.
Yeah, just like that, the Boyz in the Hood are looking real good just now. Still about 2-3K gold behind at this point, but you know, they're winning team fights, and that's all you need to do to destroy a Nexus. Taking that mid turret is going to get them a little bit closer to closing the gap now, just about 2K difference now. And Personify is going to be shoving in this bot lane as well. We'll see how much damage he can get onto that turret, but yeah, looking much better across the map. Kind of a weird engage, maybe a little bit of a misposition there from I Miss the Old You. Got caught out a little bit. And that Jin movement speed combined with Lulu movement speed as well got him out of most of that situation. But Sunny Desu was on a warpath, you might have noticed, Carl. There were a whole lot of dashes, and almost all of them were forward. It was very aggressive play there from the Akali, and got right into I Miss the Old You's face. And you know, that must have been pretty scary for him when Akali came flying out of the shadows, throw all those kunai at him. But yeah, I Miss the Old You went down real quick.
Yeah, it was in that curtain call. He opened to the show, and the show was boarded up faster than, you know, a sporting event during the coronavirus. He just was shut down almost immediately there, not able to get a whole lot done. Has picked up the rapid fire cannon to try to give himself a bit more range, so hopefully able to stay a little bit safer. But yeah, I mean, Sunny Desu, that was 3 or 4 screens, I think, of distance covered almost immediately. Took the E in, first ultimate, second ultimate, through the shroud, ran straight at him, took him down almost immediately, and his team was just kind of scratching their head, saying, where'd this guy come from? And I Miss the Old You is just typing no peel in chat, question mark on that one. He's shaking his head at the sight of that Akali coming right for him through his entire team. But he's resetting, getting the mentals back in order for this next fight, and they are still in charge of this game. 3 dragons to 0, a couple of thousand gold ahead, and 4 towers to 1 as well. So Coinflippers, well, they did lose that fight, still in control.
Yep, for sure. And down the bot lane, it's Sunny Desu versus Yoshimatter. Both teams still opting for this matchup. I'm not really sure about this because it leaves, of course, Acquiescence up against Charismatic, which seems very, very uncertain in my mind.
I Miss the Old You, doing pretty well for himself. That rapid fire cannon does a lot of work. That's a lot of range.
Yep, Storm Razor coming in clutch as well. Luca just taking the damage, not doing it so much, but has the Essence Reaver, not building the Bork this game, perhaps feeling it isn't necessary. Not too many true tanks on the enemy team, just the kind of the bruisers, the juggernauts type deal. So not going for the tank shred on this one, but both teams just trying to farm up, trying to extract the gold from Summoner's Rift that they can before the next objective comes up. Now it is going to be another dragon about 45 seconds. The Baron is up as well, so we might see a situation where one team is forced to choose. Now, in my mind, I don't think you let the Coinflippers have this dragon. I think that would be a mistake. That would put them on Dragon Soul, so that'd be pretty rough. But I think if you are the Coinflippers, this is a great chance to give up a dragon in favor of a Baron. Of course, now that you're on 3 dragons, the enemy team has to take 4 before they can take the soul, right? So you essentially have 4 dragons, any of which you could take to get the soul. And I think you could probably just give this one up for a Baron and maybe get the next dragon. But, you know, we'll have to see how they play it.
Yoshimaru finding Sunny Desu, decides against it. We might see a Realm Warp actually come through here. Yoshimaru could find himself in a decent amount of trouble. The teleport has come through to try to save this Silas. Does he have the stasis device in time? Yes, he does. There is the Zonia's Hourglass coming through, but Yoshimaru still not in a great spot. Actually has stolen the set. Oh, what a great usage of that hijack ultimate, and the shutdown comes through. Imix the Audio has picked up the kill onto Luca. This fight now suddenly turning in the favor of Coinflippers. The curtain has opened up. Charismatic has picked up a kill as well. A nice flash from Imix the Audio to get away from Sunny Desu. Not able to stop it this time as the Noxian Guillotine comes down for a double kill, and what a great play by Yoshimaru, keeping himself alive and getting himself out of this fight as the Coinflippers will look to pick up this Dragon Soul and get the chase down in a 4-for-0 fight.
Yep, Coinflippers on the warpath, man. It's just Personify left, and this Olaf at 24 minutes isn't doing too hot. 3-5-6, the scoreline on the Olaf. Definitely shut out of the game at this point. Maybe only doing a little bit of damage. Got the Sterix Gauge. Kind of just an annoying bruiser at this point. And yeah, that Infernal Soul goes over to the Coinflippers, and they're looking for the Baron, maybe? Could be just running down mid too, looking for
Might just want the tower.
Either is good, right? Both is better. But might be the Coinflippers looking for the reset here.
Would make sense. They do have a decent amount of gold in the inventory, almost 2,000 on I Miss the Old You, 1,600 on Charismatic. You have to make sure you don't give the Baron up in exchange. As you do, you know, everybody recalls and can kind of find yourself on the back foot in that one, but looks like there's no threat of that. They will go through and put those purchases in. Still only about 5,000 gold ahead, actually, so the gold, not a huge disparity here, although that Dragon Soul is certainly, I think, the most glaring issue for Boyz n the Hood. No real way to counteract that, of course, can't get rid of it, but I think the Elder Dragon probably becomes their main win condition. If you do get that buff, you pretty much win the game. That dragon is pretty strong.
Yep, very strong indeed, and with only a 5k difference in gold, it definitely could win them the game. They're not too far off yet, right? Elder Soul, very, very powerful. This Baron up as well. And I think the Boyz n the Hood could be trying to make a play around this, but Personify needs to get with the programs. They're going to do that.
Looking around here, trying to get some vision down. Teleport is available on Acquiescence, so he can teleport in to join his teammates. If we need a little bit of a cheeky Baron start there, but I Miss the Old You. Gonna get shielded up. He's gonna be just fine on this one. The split push in the bot lane, not sure how annoying that will be for the Coinflippers. Given a long enough time, he definitely could push Acquiescence, that is, but it looks like Coinflippers are just gonna start a fight before he can get too far. Still on the outer turret, so he's got a ways to go before he's getting into anything a little too vulnerable, as the Baron has now been started up. Could just be to try to force that teleport out from Acquiescence. He will have to use that if this Baron does look to be getting low. Down to 7k at this point. It's a 5 versus 4 so far. He is recalling Acquiescence, looking to probably get the home guard, and he is teleporting in now. Down to 3k on the Baron, 2k as well. Will it turn into a smite fight? Redemption has come down as well on the backside. Sunny Desu trying to do his best to drag. The Baron could be being finished off here, and it's going to be a smite fight. It is stolen away by Boyz n the Hood. They do pick up the Baron. Cabby has to flash away for his life, but the Unstoppable has come through. Luka Doncic trying to do his best to stay alive. Zero Armed and Yoshimaru are the only two left alive for their team now. Zero Armed trying to get the healing. He goes into the Umbral Trespasses. Yoshimaru 1v2 in the backside, misses the Q on Sunny Desu, but his jungler has arrived. Zero Arm picking up the kill to save his teammate as they go forward onto Sunny Desu. He's very low, going to be taken out as well, and they steal the Baron, but they get aced. Boyz n the Hood lose the fight 5-for-3.
And that is just so much healing from Rost and Silas there. I think both of those champions had like a couple hundred health there at some point in those fights. They're both full health now. While they didn't pick up the Baron buff, they did get the Ace, so still very strong indeed, and they can still look to push this top turret unimpeded as most of the Boyz in the Hood are still down. It's really just Astral on set here to protect
Pops the Predator, but not sure how threatening he actually is.
Probably not too much, but Luca a little bit more threatening for sure. Here to start clearing those waves, and that Elder Dragon about 2.5 minutes. That's going to be your next epic monster for either of these teams to look at. And I have to imagine, Carl, that the end of the series is quickly approaching here. Seems that it's kind of drawing to a close. I think this next fight might decide the winner.
Yeah, especially if the Elder Dragon is up, whoever that does go over to could find themselves winning the series almost straight away. The Baron essentially just never happened, basically just taken off the map, as all 5 buffs did die with the Boyz in the Hood team. So we move on to the Elder Dragon. No harm, no foul, essentially. You know, you get the Dragon, you get the Baron, you get some gold, and you die, and you give away that gold right away. So not a whole lot of change, really, from that Baron. Just kind of reset and start this all over again. Infinity Edge has been picked up by I Miss the Old You, so doing even more damage. He hurts quite a lot. If he's not taken out, he will rip through this team. Jin in the late game, it does a lot of damage.
Yep, for sure. You know, obviously missing the attack speed most AD carries would have, but making up for it in just the ungodly amounts of damage on each auto attack. And those force shots will one-shot.
Boom!
Oh my god. Boom goes the dynamite. Sunny Desu is half health.
That's a lot of damage.
That is quite a bit of damage.
Acquiescence. Indeed. Might find himself in a lot of trouble. Can't get out. Does not have the stasis effect. Tries about the core. Can't get himself.
No, the knockup.
To be interrupted. Zero Arm does pick that up, and that could be the pick that they were looking for. The Dragon is up before he comes back alive. I do believe very close. If anything else, Luca gonna get his PD pop. Phantom Dancer shield absorbed by just 2 auto attacks. We might see a bit of a tower dive coming through. The redemption has come through. The curtain call is opened up as well. The set ult into the backline that has been stolen. Yoshiminer coming through as well. There's the knockup. Zero Arm has used that ability. Yoshiminer now on a rampage, has picked up the kill onto set. Just 3 now to defend. Sunny Desu is in the back on the teleport, just teleporting across the wave. Charismatic to keep his team alive. There is the Jin root coming through, forcing the Ragnarok out onto Personify as Sunny Desu tries to go in, but he's going to be taken down immediately now to Rampage. Zero Arm. I Miss the Old You right under the turret, tries to get the kill onto Personify. He will pick that up, and it's just Luca to defend. Acquiescence is here as well. It's a 5 versus 2 push against the Infernal Soul as well. The first Nexus Tower is under fire. Acquiescence and Luca are now here to defend as the first Nexus Tower has been killed. It's 5 versus 2. Can they save the series? Boyz in the Hood doing their best to try to keep themselves alive. Zero Arm going to go through, but the Nexus is under fire. Coinflippers doing very well in this game, and after 30 minutes on the dot, they come back in this series and win it 2-1 and qualify for the grand finals.
Exactly 30 minutes there. They got the Dragon Soul and they were able to roll it into a win. But to watch game 1 of this series, I would not expect the Coinflippers to make that comeback. That was insane. The reverse sweep, as they say. Absolutely crazy win there. You know, I already said it, but man, if you had seen Cabby on Nautilus that first game, oh boy. I did not think they were going to win this series, but they did. They proved me wrong. They did extremely well in game 2 and game 3, especially. Very, very good performance there, and surprising me for sure. They will be moving on to the finals.
Yeah, absolutely, and very well done to Coinflippers. You know, sticking in this series, they were down for this, but they were definitely not out. They said, we already beat this team once, we can do it again, and they focused down in the series, got a couple of picks through. The charismatic Darius is one that sticks out to me, and the Jin as well. I think those are the 2 that we will keep discussing at this point. Very well done to adapt to Luca's Lucian. The Jin just does really well against that pick. You can't really dash in against that 4th shot. We saw the damage that he was putting out later on in the game, and so really good draft adaptations that just weren't answered by Boyz into Hood. Their kind of game plan kind of fell apart, and they just started hemorrhaging kills and eventually just kind of crumpled under the pressure.
Yep, for sure. That's an accurate assessment, and I completely agree with that one. And to be honest, we did that draft several times, so I feel like that was probably the best draft that either team could have hoped for. And, you know, I think that no one can really put an asterisk on this series. Coinflippers are undoubtedly the better team, and I'm looking forward to watch them in the finals.
Yeah, for sure. Just a nice, back and forth series. Both these teams definitely, I think, would have been deserving of being in the finals. Of course, only one team can really go forward. Of course, that's how tournaments work, everybody. Some deep knowledge here with Jarl at 1 a.m. here in the Central Time Zone. But Coinflippers moving on. They will face the winner of the Team Dark Matter versus Team Dark Matter Academy, other semifinal that we have. That will be coming up in just a few days, so be sure to watch out for that. So that will be also very exciting matches that we have coming up, and these playoffs have been delivering pretty much on all fronts.
They certainly have, Carl, and I appreciate the cast with you tonight. Had a lot of fun. I think we're going to be signing out here now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's going to do it for us this evening. You can check out our links below the stream: Discord, website, YouTube, and the rest you can find down there. Come chat with us on Discord. We're happy to, whenever you want. We're always ready for a chat, always down to discuss some good old League of Legends and the Style Esports League itself. But I am Jarl Carl. This has been myself, and Axman87, and Sky Ripper here, the host, the voice in our ear, keeping us centered here throughout the night, making sure I don't tell too many bad jokes. So we thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Take care. Good night.